This week, excitement in online gaming as Blizzard struggles to maintain World of Warcraft's uptime after Draenor's release and another Sony network cracking scare. Even if they're down, we'll tell you about some interesting alternatives along with your comments, calls, and emails right now on the show where every gamer has a voice.
Orange Lounge Radio.
Hello, my friends out there on the internet, and welcome back to another week of the show where every gamer has a voice. It is Orange Lounge Radio, live tonight with episode number 576, November the 23rd of 2014. Joining you over the next few hours to talk about video games, gaming culture, and the gamer lifestyle. Here in studio, my name is Rob Roberts. Not joining us tonight, unfortunately, Dark Sakura, or Jamie Summers. She is out tonight. I believe it is her husband's birthday today, somewhere around there. But the celebration is today, so she's out to go celebrate with her man. So hope she's having a good time, and happy birthday, Dan, whenever it happens to be. But here in studio, Techmaster Loki.
Hello.
Hi, Loki. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Except for my dinner sucked.
Yeah, I heard about that. You see, you know, for those that are playing the home game, the ever popular listening to OLR betting pool. What did Loki eat for dinner tonight? Game. You went to Jack in the Box.
I went to Jack in the Box.
Which East Coasters wouldn't think of right away.
Yeah, so I went to Jack in the Box and I got a turkey bacon cheddar sandwich.
Uh-huh. It is the season.
Which is fine. I mean, you know, because sandwiches have I normally get the bacon ultimate cheeseburger, and I'm just, you know, after a while it gets, you know,
right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, you have to shake it up a little bit. Variety. Can't always order the
their
same
sandwich
thing.
is nasty. I don't know what they put some sort of sauce on it. It's just gross. So
was it like cranberry?
It's not
turkey.
cranberry. No, it's just like I don't know what it was. It just tasted sour. And same with the fries. The fries are good until that last fry. The very last fry I had was just off. It was just like something, and it's like the sour taste. I had like literally spit it out of my mouth.
And now that is the fry that is represented.
Yeah, that's the fry that's like stuck permeating in my mouth. Like, thanks. You know,
every time you think about your horrible Jack in the Box night, you're gonna remember that fry.
It was just like, you know, I had left late because I was putting away laundry and I had to bleach the sink and just annoying stuff. And so I got late. You know, I didn't get to order a pizza or anything like that. And I was like, you know, driving. I'm like, well, I could stop here. Well, I might not be on time if I stop here. So I'm like, well, it's either going to be McDonald's or Jack in the Box. McDonald's is kind of meh at this time of day. So I'll do Jack in the Box. And
yeah,
it's just kind of like, I guess I'll have that. And then it was just terrible.
I do want to talk about games, of course, because this is a video game podcast. But quickly, I thought I'd ask you, since we're on the topic of food, it is the week of the Thanksgiving holiday here in the States. A happy Thanksgiving to you out there, for those of you that are celebrating it this week. If you aren't celebrating Thanksgiving this week, well, enjoy in your country from the comfort of your living room, watching the crazies in this country on Black Friday. Enjoy watching everybody on television at the local Walmart fighting over a $5 crock pot, you know, pulling out weaves, threatening people. Somebody will get shot, some shopping mall somewhere. Have fun from the comfort of your home, wherever you may be in the world.
No. No one will get shot. Someone will get trampled to death. That's
awful.
the new shot.
Awful. You know what? I'm going to stay home and play video games. That was the way Black Friday was meant to be.
You'll stay home and you go on certain online, you know, purchasing websites to.
You make it sound shady. Like, am I going on XTube? Where am I going?
You don't purchase anything on XTube. Seriously. All the content there is loaned.
That's Cyber Monday, Loki. Get with your
buzzword lingo. But it's all the pre-Black Friday stuff.
Now it's pre-Black. Oh, that's right. Because now what do they call it? Gray Thursday? It's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. It's not Gray Thursday.
It's Thanksgiving. It might happen to be gray outside because we're having that kind of weather, but it's Thanksgiving.
Gray Thursday.
I heard that term on the news the other day, and I'm like, it's fucking Thanksgiving.
They're dumb. They're just trying to be buzzworthy.
I know. And then they have a graphic to go with it. Gray Thursday. All right, anyhow. Hey, look, when we're feeling sad and gray, we always have this gal here to cheer us up. Joining us in studio tonight, welcome back to the show from the Multi-Tap Podcast.
Hey, no, hold on. Sorry, I got to...
Way to wreck the intro. This better be good.
Ranma is suggesting that I go to Subway. No, now I've been to Subway, and I even thought about that, but Subway also tends to be pretty crappy this time of night.
Did you literally interrupt the guest introduction to talk about a fucking sandwich?
Yes.
To be fair, Subway's horrible. I agree. It's true.
Welcome to the show, Princess Irene.
Hello. How are you?
Would you like a sandwich?
Fuck no. I already had one earlier.
How are you doing, Princess Irene?
I'm okay. I'm
Yeah?
good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for jumping in to fill in tonight.
Sure.
How are things for you? How's life been treating you lately?
It's exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
I would ask you, well, what, usually I go, oh, well, what's new on the Multi-Tap podcast? But like you were just here like 6 weeks ago. So, I mean, did you do anything in the past 6 weeks that we all ought to know about?
I think we released like a couple of episodes.
All right, go check them out.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey.
Where can folks hear the Multi-Tap podcast? Just briefly, for those new listeners who might have gotten the past couple of weeks, where is the Multi-Tap podcast and what can folks expect to hear on it?
Sure. You can find it on ffop.net. That stands for Fistful of Potions, and that's kind of our umbrella place that we kind of like VOG Network is to Orange Lounge Radio. Sure. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I mean this with all complete respect, but I can't get out of my head that it's fistful of poop. Like a monkey. And you
Neither can I, Rob.
It's a fistful of poop. Fop. All right.
So that's a good way to remember it.
Yeah, no, whatever works, right?
Right. And you can probably expect to hear just a lot of crap. I don't know.
Way to talk up your show.
I know. Woo!
Full of poop.
That's
a lot
right.
Of crap. Okay,
You're gonna
got
hear
it.
a lot of poop.
Boom. Rim
On
shot.
the fop.
Right.
No,
but
it's a fun show. It's a
Yeah.
bummer we couldn't get any of your co-hosts back tonight, but you're plenty.
Yeah, everyone's out of town.
Oh, well, that happens during Thanksgiving. Go figure.
That's right. Yeah.
Go
that's
figure.
True.
Let's see. What else I want to ask you about? This week was 20 November, which was another holiday of sorts.
Forgot all about it.
For the DDR and music game nerds.
I guess it's totally dead in my mind now.
The 2-day celebration of 19 November and 20 November happened this past week, which if you don't know what that means, there was a song in I believe it was in the original DDR. No, I don't think it showed up till third mix.
Third mix.
You know where it was? It was in
Beatmania.
It was in Beatmania, the 5-key game. There was a song called 20 November. So that has kind of been adapted as the unofficial Bomani holiday.
Right.
So, and you and I didn't necessarily meet playing DDR, as I met a lot. Like, that's how I met Loki. It's how I met Dark Sakura. You and I knew each other before that, thanks to Rocky Horror and other things.
Right.
But Bomani was a huge part of your life as well as mine. How did you kind of get into music games way back in the day, and what did that do for you?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I think the first time we played DDR was when we went to Las Vegas. We went to like a RockyCon or something like that, and we just saw it, and you're like, oh, this looks really cool. And I'm like, that's stupid. I don't want to dance in front of people. I look dumb. And then you played it, and I think I played a game, but then I kept following you to places like arcades and stuff, and you kept playing DDR, and I was like, oh, I'll play it too, and it was really fun. And yeah.
It was the music.
Right. It's all about the music. I don't remember the second part of your question.
What are some memorable experiences you got out of the whole thing from being a part of the Bomani community for a few years?
I guess I got like friends and stuff from it. That was pretty cool.
Right on. Is that how you met Fafop? Or
It's not even remotely how I
Oh.
met Fafop. I met them through school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will remember a favorite memory that involved you, and that was we went to a tournament in Los Angeles, you and me. It was called the Cyber Beat Nation tournament.
I
And
remember.
this tournament was at Koreatown. What
Yes.
it was like Little Korea, and I don't remember the name of the place, but this is a really big tournament. This is one of the biggest tournaments they probably had. And there was a lot of freestyle, and there was perfect attack. And pretty much throughout the entire weekend, in the back of the arcade, there was Irene and I in a tiny little booth singing karaoke for hours and hours and hours. We played the fuck out of that machine. And this is before like Karaoke Revolution or Rock Band or any of that shit, right? There was this little thing, and the thing about it was, not only could you sit there and sing the songs, which there was a lot of American songs in there, even though some of them had been translation back again, like Google Translate one way and then back again. There was like a lot of Japanese songs and Korean songs and things in it too. So we would go through the catalog, and when you would sing the songs, you got scored at the end. So the whole thing became about like getting a high score. And I remember I got a 100 on some song, and then you did a song and got like a 21.
I'm pretty sure
You
it
were
was the
so
lower
mad.
score, the better. I seem to distinctly recall.
It was
that
like
part.
golf. It was like golf.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was on par. Yeah.
So there you go. There's a memory involving Irene for you guys. Was going to a DDR tournament to play karaoke all weekend.
Right.
Like, you guys don't even know. We were in that booth the entire weekend. Like, I don't even know who won the damn tournament. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think we gave a shot, like, really. And I think when people would come close to the booth to try to, play the game, we would, like, bark at them or something, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
This is our game. This is our territory.
You know what is really too bad about that whole thing, too, and I guess I can talk about this now. It's been years and years, but they never did the sequel, and they actually had asked me to MC the second tournament if they did one, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, that sounds really exciting. It's a huge tournament. And I was like, going to be a huge opportunity for OLR, which was still blooming at the time and everything, but they didn't end up having the tournament, and I don't remember why. I don't think the arcade went under or anything, but it's just they didn't get the interest or something happened. They couldn't financially pull it off, so that was always too bad.
And I think the prize that you won at that one was a DDR machine, right?
I think so.
And how do you fucking top that?
Yeah,
like, it's kind of downhill from there.
That's right. I think it was like a solo 2000 or something. It was still pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. Considering it was like 2002 or something. So
going to our chat room over at live.vognetwork.com, because we do tape live every Sunday night at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, right after the Bobby Blackwolf Show at the Voice of Geeks Network. That's vognetwork.com. And our chat room, of course, at live.vognetwork.com. Raginator in our chat asking, is there any chance that Irene could change fafop.com to fafap.com? I think we talked about that last time you were here. That, like, you might have to get that domain as well as looking forward.
Yeah. I'm currently working on that as of 5 seconds ago.
Okay.
Yes.
You have your people working on it right now.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
That's happening.
That's happening. Let's see. Rama pointing out that November 20th was also DDR's 16th anniversary. Oh my gosh. Shut the front door. 16 years. That's true. 1998 was the year it launched, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. And we first played it in 2000, you and I.
Was it 2000?
Because it was at the Rocky 25th
You're right.
convention in Vegas, yeah.
Yeah.
It was you, me, Iguana Girl, and somebody else was there with us, I thought, all playing.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember. Somebody else was with us.
It was so long ago.
I know. It's like our memories are fading. I have Alzheimer's. Let's see. Act F pointing out that 20 November is also Mexican Revolution Day.
Whoa.
Well, maybe that's why it's Dance Dance Revolution.
But wouldn't it be like bailamos or something? I don't know Spanish. I'm sorry. I just ruined that joke, but revolucion or something.
If I titled these episodes, tonight's episode would be Bailamos Revolution.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, in Europe it was called Dancing Stage.
I do know that.
Because I guess, you can't.
You don't say
revolution over there. It's a bad word. So it's dancing. That's true. It really is called Dancing Stage. It is not called. Yeah. I don't know if it's one of those things where, like, they finally released it as DDR years later.
They just knew that it was going to be a fad, so you're going to go through this dancing stage. And
yeah. Well, it was like us in Dragon Quest. For some reason, it was Dragon Warrior, and then finally at some point they were like, all right, it's Dragon Quest.
Yeah. It's like, make up your fucking minds, guys.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Let's see. Also in this part of November around Thanksgiving, and because of the Black Friday and the $5 crock pots I talked about a minute ago, this is the time of year where all the games are coming out, because you got to get your game on the shelf before Black Friday, the official start of the holiday season, because that's when people are going to go out and get the gifts that are going to show up under the tree. The games sell the most during this time of year. So we just have an avalanche of games to pick from this week. I do want to get into our gaming weeks and the types of video games that we've been playing this week. But before we get into that completely, I kind of want to ask you, how do you pick the games that you're going to play this week? And this might be a really tough question. I'm going to pose this in our chat room too, over at live.vognetwork.com. How are you picking out of all these games? Not everybody can afford to buy all 10 games they want. Some people can't really afford to buy one of the games they want. But how are you able to pick which game it is that you are going to play this week? Loki, I'll start with you.
How did I pick which game?
How did you pick?
I bought, Grand Theft Auto 5, and so I played that for a bit, at least a few days out of the week, and then the other few days I played, Lego Marvel Superheroes, mainly because one of the days I wanted to play Grand Theft Auto 5, it was downloading a patch, and so it took a long time. It was going to be like another hour before I could play it, and I was like, I'm just going to play something else. And so I played that, and I kept playing like Marvel superheroes. You know, I don't know. I did want to get Far Cry, maybe Dragon Age Inquisition.
Why?
Far Cry 3, I loved that game, and it looks like a pretty incredible game. And Inquisition, everybody's kind of doing it. So it's like, gotta
peer pressure is okay. I mean, this is the thing people don't usually want to admit, but is peer pressure a factor? I'll kind of openly admit.
I want to get games that I can play with friends with, and unfortunately, not everybody's on the Grand Theft Auto bandwagon because I don't know what's wrong with you people, but seriously, not everybody's on that bandwagon, and so.
If it had come out like a month sooner, I probably would have bought it. But now it has to compete with all this other stuff, and it's like, okay, I spent like $200 on video games this week. That's a lot of money. Like. No more, you know?
I don't know. I don't have to get an Inquisition. But see, the thing is, I'm waiting for the Black Friday sales to see what's going to be discounted. Because there's even like, I've been seeing some of the early stuff, and like they have, was it Middle-earth Shadows of Mordor for like $25? I mean, that just came out. Why is it discounted so much? It was supposed to be a pretty good game. I mean, that might be worth picking up. Or Wolfenstein down to $25. Yeah. Although I'm not sure if I want to buy because I'm already sitting on like a few games on my PlayStation 4 that I haven't played yet. Like I have Watch Dogs and Destiny that haven't been touched yet.
And I know it's coming up later in the show, but it's no secret that this time of year means a Steam sale is going to be coming at some point.
Speaking of things I haven't touched yet.
Right? And like that's just going to make the problem worse. Then it'll be like, I just picked up $2 games.
Here's the thing, though. I'm getting to the point now, even with like the Humble Bundles, and I tend to buy most of the Humble Bundles, I'm getting to the point where I'm not picking them up because I own most of the games already.
Right.
And it's getting to the point where they're repeating enough stuff where it's like, well, shit, like this last Humble Bundle I bought, I bought the highest tier so I could Saints Row 4 so I can give the Rob. But
thank you, by the way. It was very nice of you.
Yeah,
I have no time to play it.
Exactly. It's like all these other games. I looked at my list of unredeemed keys on Humble Bundle. I'm like, well, shit, yeah, because I have all these already. Like, how many copies of Fez do I have? Like, way too many damn copies of Fez.
More than anyone needs.
It's just. It's ridiculous. Like, oh, hey, cool, Grid unlocked in Grid 2. I'm never going to play these games. Why am I buying these things?
All right, I'll come back to you later and ask you more specifics about how Grand Theft Auto 5 is going and all that. Look at our chat room, though, because I asked you guys in chat what you are weighing and what to play this week. ActDef says, I picked the game I'm most excited about and probably the one I'll play the longest, too, hence why I picked Smash. And VidPower says, same here. I picked the one I was eagerly anticipating, which was Smash. Kaijudo says, it's easy to pick games because most of the crap they have out now isn't worth buying. I'm only looking to get Grand Theft Auto 5 and Smash. Pokemon, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Smash were the only games I was waiting for. Oh, and Sims 4 and Civilization Beyond Earth. That's about it for me. That still sounds like a pretty good big list, Kaijudo. That's still a lot of games in the list. I don't know. But Irene, what do you factor in this week? And like, what am I gonna play?
I think about what's already on my 3DS.
Mm-hmm. So it's more like I'm on a budget. I don't have time for $60 game week.
Yes. And also a time budget. So what's going to take 5 to 15 minutes, which is usually the Me Plaza.
I see. So you have to kind of weigh in because you have the school and the other stuff that gets in the way. What can I play quickly?
Right.
So you don't have time to play Dragon Age Inquisition, even if that was something that was up your alley, which I don't think it is.
Nope.
Yeah. You don't have to. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that.
Right.
Is that why you tend to gravitate towards retro titles and kind of what you like? If I kind of look at a list of what are Irene's favorite games, a lot of them tend to be like retro stuff. Is that because it's more bite-sized or?
Not real. I mean, that's all just stuff that I have played because I don't have time to play current games anymore. I haven't played them, but I've played a lot of older games, so that's usually why all of my favorite games are older games because I haven't played any new games. I'm too busy.
Well, and you can always come over here and play the stuff that I got suckered into buying, like you did with Smash this week, right?
Yeah. Totally did that. That was fun.
We'll talk about your thoughts on Smash in a minute here. Yeah. For me, I think, and the thing I didn't really get into as Loki was talking, I think peer pressure does play into it just a little bit. Like, I kind of think that's what finally broke me on Dragon Age Inquisition. Like, I wasn't gonna do it because I didn't get it super into Dragon Age Origins. Like, I tried, but it just, I don't know if it was too slow or if it's just the engine wasn't like Mass Effect, so it didn't really pull me in the same way. Or the story, I don't know what it was. I couldn't get into Dragon Age Origins. I don't hate it. I just really couldn't get into it. But I bought Dragon Age Inquisition because I knew Alan was a big fan of it. I knew my roommate was a big fan of it, and there would be a lot of chatter about the game in this household. And I was like, oh, it has a multiplayer mode, and multiplayer is supposed to be kind of like Mass Effect, and I really liked Mass Effect's multiplayer mode way more than I ever thought I would. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to do it. Here's the $60. And I really enjoy Dragon Age Inquisition. I'll talk about that more in a minute, but I'm really glad I bought it. Like, the game pulled me in a way that Origins didn't do. So I'm like super into the game. So it's a place where peer pressure actually paid off.
I actually think you're on to something. There's always this fear of missing out. I think that a lot of people are susceptible to that. And I mean, I don't know, we're probably going to talk about this later, but the whole Warlords of Draenor thing, like how the sub, has risen,
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, so I kind of think that's playing part of that too. So.
That's okay. Let's talk about Draenor for a minute, and we will get into that, and and have a more lengthy discussion about what Blizzard's doing amongst all the chaos that happened this past week. But you are a former World of Warcraft player. In fact, you're the one that kind of got me into it. One of a couple
welcome.
people. Yeah, I know, right? So you got me into it. I don't play anymore. You don't play anymore. But I found it really hard to resist the temptation to go back this week because everybody is up that expansion's ass.
Right.
Like, and I'm not hating with that comment. I am not hating with that comment. I'm really happy for Blizzard, and I'm happy that expansion apparently has turned out as good as it has, because I really lost interest halfway through Pandaria when basically Blizzard had thrown 5-mans out the window, which is the thing I enjoyed most in the game, and I couldn't stand LFR and stuff anymore. But it seems like people are really loving this expansion, the story, and a lot of the other things about it. I know people that haven't played in a very long time that are super into it, and that peer pressure is kind of making me go, I got to do it. I got to try it. Like, even though I'm paying for 14 and I've got to, everybody's loving WoW. I've got to try WoW at some point. But luckily this week I've been able to tell myself, okay, Rob, you just bought 4, because I bought the Jackbox game too. I bought 4 games this week. I do not need fucking WoW to make me not play any of it.
Right. And it's such a weird dynamic with WoW. You kind of have to strike while the iron's hot, because maybe a few months down the line, it's not going to be as appealing. People will drop off and it just won't be. So it has to be the right conditions too. So right now is when everyone's jumping back on board and everything's still fresh and no one, all the content's new and stuff like that. So it would be the ideal time to do it. And I will tell you, I despise WoW. I do. But even I was tempted for a millisecond. Like, man, I really miss PvP and I miss WoW. And I would love to go back. But it's just like, no, I mean, I'm done with that. So, but yeah, there's just this confluence of just factors that make it sound appealing, and I don't know. Without
getting too dark, I hope I'm not going down too much of a dark road here, but you used to be really into WoW, and now you say, I despise WoW. That's a very strong term.
Yeah.
What flipped for you?
WoW killed my brother. I'm just kidding.
I shouldn't laugh. No. It's a horrible thing to say.
No, it's not. No, it just, thinking about all of the money I spent on WoW and all the time I spent on WoW and how much more I could have been doing with my life rather than playing WoW, and, some of the friendships and the fake friendships that I created with WoW. And I say that earnestly, like fake friendships, because sometimes you got to play that game in the game to do anything. Like, if someone finds out you're a girl in the game, wow, it just turns around 180 for you. Like, there's just this intricate game you have to play with them, and it's not anything I really wanted to be a part of, but it was kind of the expectation. I guess it was created in the environment of WoW. Anyway, that's a whole different topic, but
that is fascinating. You could do an entire movie on that.
Whoa. No. But I mean, it was just, there were some great things about it. I loved PvPing, I loved interacting with my friends and stuff, but it was just, it was affecting my real life too much. And I just, the more I think about it, the more resentful I get about it. So,
what's interesting is, I have Horde House, which was a World of Warcraft podcast for a few years. And I'm pretty tuned into the Warcraft podcasting community, of which there's a lot of podcasts. I'm not sure I've ever heard in the years of doing those podcasts, I've ever heard somebody talk about the real social game the way you just did. And I can't really argue with you and what you're saying, but it's a very interesting layer of WoW that nobody who's into it really talks about, which I find very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think no one wants to acknowledge that happens. And it's not just WoW. It's every MMO that you play or any sort of
or any
online
multiplayer game.
Right,
It could be League of Legends.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, everyone knows that it happens. It's just nobody really acknowledges, or they're just kind of, they're blind to it. They just think that that's.
And just to be clear, you're not only talking about the whole like IRL girl angle of it, right?
Right.
But you're talking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is what I'm hearing. You have faked friendships in an MMO to advance your MMO game.
Yes.
Even though you didn't particularly necessarily care for the person who might have been helping you out.
Right. Yeah. And people have done that with me too. So it's not, and that's okay. I mean, that's just how the game is played. It stings the first time.
Yeah.
But, you just get used to it. It's par for the course.
Wow.
Yeah.
Loki, when are you going to start playing MMOs?
Want to be my friend in WoW?
Yeah, I'll be your friend. Help me get a 2-player amount.
Right.
Wow. Let's see. Kaijudo in chat says, WoW screwed up MMOs. It went with mediocre, and now every MMO just follows suit. Kaijudo also saying she realized how mediocre WoW is.
It is very, I can't hate on the mediocrity of WoW because it went from, I mean, if you think of all of WoW's predecessors, what MMOs came before WoW? I mean, there was EverQuest,
Ultima Online.
Yeah. How difficult were these games? How hard were they to access for the quote unquote, I guess, casual gamer or, not super experienced gamer? I can credit WoW with being very accessible. And I appreciate that because I like games, but I'm not amazing at them. So.
Blizzard has become a PC gaming powerhouse, and now also console. They dabble in the console stuff too.
Right.
But Blizzard's become a PC gaming powerhouse by dumbing down. And I don't mean that in a harsh way, but just like I love Blizzard games too because they dumb down what can oftentimes be very difficult genres so that everybody can play them.
Right.
And they did it with StarCraft. They did it with Diablo, is a simple dungeon crawler. They did Heroes of the Storm big time. That's the only MOBA I can wrap my head around is Heroes of the Storm.
Right.
And now they're going to do it again with the shooter.
Right.
And you've got all these people, and I don't know if it's just this whole effect that Blizzard has that I don't want to say Blizzard creates a cult. But like
they create a cult.
But going to BlizzCon was a very interesting experience because there's so many people that are like, I hate first-person shooters, but I'll play Overwatch. I'll play it because it's Blizzard. Bow down.
Right.
I'm going to play this. And I got to admit, even I played Overwatch, and the first time I didn't totally get it, but the second time I was like, God, this character development is really good, and I could see myself getting really into this.
Yeah, and that's what it is too. They might sacrifice, very involved gameplay or whatever, but they'll enrich something else in the game. They'll make a really good, storyline or whatever. So I think that's probably what the draw of WoW was they're sacrificing that, but they're making making it more accessible to gamers. They improve other aspects of the game to make up for it. So,
and to be fair, I don't think I would use the word mediocre with WoW because I really think WoW set the bar in some ways. But I do think there are games that have taken some things in WoW and done it better. Y'all know I'm addicted to Final Fantasy 14. I think there's some elements that 14 does better, but I'm not necessarily saying that all of it's better. It has its drawbacks as well. But, it's just, there's these other MMOs that are all worth checking out, but nobody does it because they're too tied up in the social game of WoW.
I would acknowledge that WoW has devolved since its origins, absolutely. And I think
girl,
that's
you were coming out swinging tonight.
It's true, though. It has. I mean, if you let's talk about this. I mean, you think about vanilla WoW.
If you want to argue with Princess Irene, by all means, tweet us at OLR or join
you want
us
a bump? Let's go.
You want a bump? Let's go.
No. I'm just saying. Okay, I really love the game. I loved Vanilla WoW. I loved Burning Crusade. Wrath kind of sucked. But I mean, once you start looking at when they took all of the pop culture references and the memes and stuff overboard, when it kind of broke the verisimilitude of the game and it went from a fantasy game to a pop culture game, and they just were not even subtle about anything anymore. They were getting too ironic with their stuff.
Are you saying there was one too many poop quests?
Yes. I'm saying that there were one too many poop quests. Yes. And I just... It was fun at first, but then it just became too overt and too much. And I think that really just it devolved into something for, it was like fucking 12-year-old dick and fart jokes, which I normally love. But I also loved original WoW, and it really just ruined it for me.
Well, some of the people that are talking about Warlords of Draenor say it's
a return.
The closest thing to Vanilla and Burning Crusade in that period right in between that we've seen since.
And see, that's so depressing because I don't want to go back to WoW because I know life after WoW, and it's beautiful and it's sweet. And then if I go back into WoW, it's sucking me back into. But I know people that
play WoW that are completely like functional, happy people.
I'm not one of those people. I don't do that when I play WoW. I sit for 12 hours on a Saturday and PvP all day.
That's okay. So as long as we're clear, people react differently, and that's how you
exactly.
did it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I want to get through school. So
all right. This comment in the chat room from Alan Alchemy, who I believe is talking about the social elements of WoW, the social game.
Yeah.
Quote: everyone in my raid group ain't shit and are actually kind of racist, but we progress hard modes easily and they fit my schedule. So oh well.
Wow. See, you have to pretend to like these fuckers. Like, yeah, racism, good times. All right, let's go raid. I don't want to do that. I don't want to put up with bullshit just to do things with people.
But not that everyone that plays WoW is racist.
But most of them.
Just Grandpa.
Definitely Grandpa. But I'm not hating on it. I just it's kind of a slippery slope for me. So.
All right. Wow. I did not know this was going to delve into the dark side of MMOs chat. But that was great. No,
that was therapy time for Irene.
That was you're actually like lying back in Jamie's chair,
right. Just kicking it, just talking about WoW.
If you were the smoking kind, I imagine you'd have a cigarette in your hand, just
looking back on it like a grizzled veteran. Like, yeah, let's talk about WoW. Right.
All right. Well, I do want to move on with the show and talk a little bit about what have we been playing this week specifically. I guess we've touched on it a little bit, but now let's get into some of the details and maybe some of the stuff that got missed. Loki, how was your gaming week?
I played Grand Theft Auto, and it's awesome. I downloaded it digitally because I had pre-ordered, so unlocked on Monday, and I started playing through the story campaign. I actually tried streaming some of it. That worked out okay, I guess. And then also I did play a little bit of Infamous Second Son. Still kind of bored with that game. I don't know. It's just kind of okay, I guess. But at the time, when I was picking out games to get for my PlayStation 4, I was just like, it looked pretty good. But it's all right. I don't know. I probably, if they made another Infamous game, I probably would not pick it up. But Grand Theft Auto, yes, Grand Theft Auto is amazing. And I did play through a lot of it in first-person mode, although I have now gone back to third-person mode again because, I don't know, I kind of got over it. It is hard to, see around yourself, and it might be fun to, play, Grand Theft Auto online that way if you're playing in an online mode that was only people playing in that mode. But, I don't know, it looks really good. It's very pretty. And I love all the new animals. Cats and stuff wandering around a lot. And I don't know. I
did watch a little bit of your live stream, and I saw the cat. And that was,
yes, I got very distracted. I was supposed to be stealing a car. I'm like, oh, cat. Yeah. So there's a lot of cats. They're not rare at all, so you see them quite a bit. So I did that, and I think the other day I was occupying myself playing with Chop, so I was throwing a ball at people. And so I take his ball, throw it at a person, they get pissed off, and when they get pissed off, he goes and attacks them and kills them. So that's kind of fun. So I was doing that. And then, what else? Lego Marvel Superheroes. So I had originally got this to play with my son, and it's just hard to play with him because he doesn't really understand how to use the controller too well. I mean, he can mash some of the buttons in it, and he wanted to play as Hulk and stuff, and then he got frustrated once we passed the Hulk stage that now it's Captain America and who else was it? Captain America and Mr. Fantastic. So I was playing through the campaign to get to the free mode part of the whole thing where you can kind of run around New York. And so I was playing through that, and I finally got that unlocked. But then I kept playing it because, it's okay. I don't know. I was trying to unlock all the characters. I'm still not sure how to switch characters. I think I'll figure that out later on. But I guess there's supposed to be some sort of secret room with Deadpool. But Deadpool's everywhere. He has so many cameos and everything. It's hilarious. So I just have to play through it, I guess, some more to find Deadpool. That's who I'm really trying to unlock. The story's okay, I guess. Ran across what's his name? I don't know. It's mostly the Avengers stuff right now that I'm running through. And damn, they have like a ton of Spider-Man content. And like the first like 4 or 5 villains were all Spider-Man villains. I'm like, okay, Spider-Man's in this level, and this level, and this level.
Isn't Dr. Octopus the first one you run into, like the very first one?
Sandman's the very first one.
Oh, that's right, Sandman.
So Sandman, and then Dr. Octopus, and then it's what, Green Goblin, and then Venom, and it's like,
Wow.
shit, okay, you've gone through all of the Spider-Man villains. Stop. And then who would it end up being? Then you finally run into Magneto and Sabretooth, and you fight what's his name? Abomination again. I don't know. There's a lot of characters in it. It's kind of cool. So I played through that, and it's fun. I probably will still play through it again, because the only thing with Grand Theft Auto is I've already beat the campaign 100% on the Xbox 360, so it's like, and I remember how much of a pain in the ass that was to do that. That took a long time, and I'm just kind of regretting having to do that again, because I want to get in on that whole Mount Chiliad mystery Easter egg thing, but you have to have 100% to do that, and it's kind of like, I don't want to do that again. It took so much time, so I'm just hoping someone releases like a save game cheat or something like that, because I really don't want to have to go through the whole campaign again. It was good. It's a long time, a lot of time dedicated to that, but maybe I'll do it. Who knows? I do want to pick up Far Cry 4 at some point, but all these games take a long time. That's why
right.
Lego Marvel Superheroes, it's just kind of linear for the most part, although the open world stuff's really huge too. I was like, holy crap, this map is huge. I mean, it's kind of empty, but there's a lot of stuff. And I'm still not really sure what collecting all those studs do, if I can like buy things with that, so I've been just collecting them anyways, but there's a
Why
ton
am I
of them.
collecting this? I don't know, because it's shiny and I want
Yeah,
them.
exactly. I'm like, I don't know. Them getting points, I guess. Are these points? Are they money? What are these things? I don't know. So maybe I'll just look it up on the internet. But so yeah, that's what I've been doing this week. It's just really those games.
All right, well, I'm going to try to cover this quickly.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Real quick. I also played more of the
Well, you want to talk about a sandwich?
Playroom. No, Playroom. We didn't play any sandwiches. No, actually, my son was playing Playroom. He was playing the Alien. It was like some Alien one, where you have like a toy alien and you destroy it almost looks like a Little Big Planet. You destroy a bunch of like cardboard things, and so he loves that. Like he literally spent like 2 or 3 hours playing that the other day, all by himself. I was like, hey, cool. All right, that's it.
All right. I'll try to be quick because I covered a lot of ground in gaming this week, and so I'm going to try to be quick. So I played a lot of my usual stuff like Final Fantasy 14, Diablo 3, and the reason why I played a lot of Diablo 3 and probably more of that than anything else this week is that Alan decided to make this his week that I don't know why, but I've decided I'm going to beat Diablo 3 finally. Maybe watching me play all that time finally rubbed off on him, and he was like, I want to do rifts and all the cool things that Rob talks about. So he finally beat the game, and he's level like 69. He's really close to that 70 cap right now. So he's been playing Diablo 3, so I've been helping him out, and I've just been playing a lot of it because of that. Looking forward to the new patch, trying to finish out what I want to do in Season 1 before it hits. So a lot of that old stuff I've been playing, but new stuff, lots of new stuff. Dragon Age Inquisition, which I mentioned a little bit ago. I got really sucked into the game because the game really hits the ground running with the story. I found the story very interesting. I think the characters are really interesting, and this is something BioWare does very well. They did it in Mass Effect, and I know they did this in the other Dragon Age games. I just think the characters are really, really interesting. You know, I know Dragon Age gets lauded a lot for its diversity. I think that just goes to enhance the stories, the backgrounds that all these different characters have, that you can really go down a rabbit hole of exploring these people's pasts, where they come from, and their stories. It's great, and so many different party members. Also, a lot of folks comparing Dragon Age Inquisition to Skyrim in some ways, and I definitely feel the Skyrim influence in the game. And the reason why...
No, don't say that! Don't say that. Then I have to buy it now.
The
And
reason why Irene's making a face, like, I don't like Skyrim face.
what
Pretty
is
much.
wrong with you?
Absolutely nothing. I have my own opinion, Matt.
What is your quick
Clearly,
opinion?
it's clearly because you haven't played with the PC mods.
What
'Cause you can make that game anything you want.
Clearly.
Clearly. What is clearly your problem with Skyrim?
It is clearly fucking boring as shit.
Okay, so you know what? I can see why people get bored with Skyrim. I really can.
Yeah.
Because it is a slow burn.
Yes.
And it isn't necessarily a game that kind of. I mean, I don't know. It does.
You
kinda
make
hit the
your
ground
own
running, but-
excitement.
I don't even think it's on fire. It's not a slow burn. It's just sitting there.
It's like a candle.
That
But
isn't lit.
The thing about Dragon Age Inquisition, if you've read up on the game, everybody heard about this. The very first area you go in, the hinterlands, you're doing the quest, and suddenly you're going down the map. Oh, there's a side quest over there. Oh, there's a side quest over there. Oh, there's a camp I need to mark over there. Oh, there's
Can't fucking deal with that. I
side
can't.
quest, side quest, side quest, and then you go do one side quest. There's 5 more side quests to do. So it's like you get stuck in this one fucking zone because you can't stop doing the side quests that are all showing up on your map with very similar icons to Skyrim, might I add. I just kind of noticed that. It was very interesting. It just. Yeah, so but I like that you go down this and then there's more, and you keep further down, there's even more and more, and I kind of like that there's so many things to do. But I really stress, if you are playing Dragon Age Inquisition, leave the fucking hinterlands when you can. Go progress the story because you'll get more characters. I don't want to do spoilers, but there are more characters. At least three new characters you can get pretty quickly after you get out of the fucking hinterlands. You can always go back. And that's what I did. I went and I got 3 new characters, and then I went back. So now I'm doing the burn in the hinterlands again, and then I got to another area, the Storm Coast, which is another open world area that has 5 more things to explore. And It's just like, oh my god, there's so much to do. So a lot to do in Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, it's not a perfect game. And the other reason why I compare it to Skyrim is that Dragon Age Inquisition has some pretty hilarious glitches. And we have to be fair for a minute, because all of the internet sat here and gave Assassin's Creed Unity a hell of a time last week over some of the bugs. Yet, come on, there's some pretty derpy things that happen in Dragon Age Inquisition, and people aren't talking about that. So that needs to be called out. There are definitely some choppy frame rate things that happen. The thing that gets me is dancing characters. Like characters that will start to move in these really erratic patterns for no reason. And I'm like, why? Stop doing that. Now, we don't have anything as bad as, say, somebody's face is fucking missing. Like, there's nothing that bad. But there are definitely still some technical glitches that take you out of the experience for a little bit. I do consider that minor in the big picture, because those minor things aside, the game is really beautiful. And, when glitches aren't happening, there's a lot of gorgeous things to look at. Cutscenes are rendered very well. The way your custom designed character is woven into the experience is really, really something. So there's a lot of good stuff in Dragon Age Inquisition. I think if you are into RPGs, it's worth checking out. I did not really play the first 2 games. I don't think you have to have either to get fulfillment out of this game. So just throwing that out there. Multiplayer is kind of, I don't want to say it's thrown on. There's definitely a rich experience in there, but it is completely disjointed from the single player game. They are 2 separate games. They have nothing in common. So sorry, when I say nothing in common, I mean what you do in one does not impact the other and vice versa. The battle system is very similar. That's what they do have in common. I was actually a little disappointed that multiplayer is so separated from the single player experience, because there's A, no reason to play it, meaning B, it's hard to find people to play it with. And if I grind in multiplayer, I don't even get PlayStation trophies to show for it.
Well, then fuck that.
Unfortunately, I think there's some people out there that are so opposed to multiplayer. They're like, oh, well, I'm not going to pick up Dragon Age if they have multiplayer trophies because I don't do multiplayer and PvP. Ew. Well, A, the multiplayer in Dragon Age isn't PvP. It's all dungeon crawling, 4-man stuff. And I see trophies as achievements, and they are optional. And if you decide not to do the content, that's kind of your own damn problem. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why they couldn't do just some things for multiplayer to make it a little more tied to the experience. It is a little silly.
Yeah,
So.
that's kind of stupid. It's like, what's the point then? I mean,
Yeah.
if there are a lot of people who are just achievement whores and they just want to get every single achievement, and that's why I assume they didn't put it for multiplayer. But you're just kind of making it useless. Then it's like we spent all this time developing multiplayer, but no one's gonna play it.
Yeah, and for me, at the end of the day, it's not as fluid as Mass Effect's multiplayer was, and that kind of takes me out of the experience a little bit. Like I think that's the best word I can think of to describe it. It's just not very fluid. It's kind of like you go through a dungeon, you kill a few mobs, and then it's like, oh, I look around here, and then now we're going to wave 2, and it's just, I don't know, it doesn't really feel as strong as the single player game itself, and I don't think it doesn't. I think a good multiplayer experience complements the single player experience, and this does not complement anything. This is a spin-off. This is like playing the Dragon Age game on Facebook or something. It's that kind of spin-off.
Wow.
I mean, ultimately, like I hate to sound so damning of it because I think you could have a little fun playing multiplayer a few times, especially if you had some friends to play it with. But then you'll be like, why am I playing this? I need to go back into single player mode and actually progress my game.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, other games. Jackbox Party Pack, which, by the way, we have a code we're going to give away. We're going to give away a copy of Jackbox Party Pack for the Xbox One or PlayStation 4. We're going to give it away. You can be live listener or podcast listener. We're going to do a contest, and I'll talk about that at the start of Part B. And obviously, we've had them on the show before, so just that whole disclosure in case you think that's going to taint my review. But I had a great time with Jackbox Party Pack. It is a party pack. It's a bunch of little like board games virtually. And you might remember when we had them on the show, we talked a little bit about that experience of doing the tablets and cell phones as controllers. And it works very, very, very well for games like Fibbage. And I think a standout in the pack is Drawful, which you played it too. You enjoyed Drawful, right?
It was fantastic.
Drawful was a hell of a lot of fun.
Yes.
For such a simple concept.
Yeah.
But the way that it's all weaved together with being able to draw it on the phone and everything is really cool. Mm-hmm. And because it was on PlayStation 4, we were share playing with Xtifer. Mm-hmm. And so there's no lag. He can see the screen like he's sitting in the room and he's on his phone and he can play with us. And we're talking through the TV. Like it's just technology. It's so fucking great, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my God. So that was really cool. The only part, like if you play You Don't Know Jack, for some reason they decided to put the tablet controls in that too. And I don't understand why they went down that. Well, I do and I don't. Like, not everybody has four $40 controllers for PlayStation 4 or whatever. But I still kind of think controllers should have been an option because I think in some of the more precise things you have to do in You Don't Know Jack, such as the very last round, the Jack Attack, where you have to be like the first person to push the button when you like that is skills and reflexes. And unfortunately, when you add the lag of cell phone browser into that, it really detracts from the experience. So I think, one feedback I would have for the developers is that I don't think you made the right call in saying tablets only in multiplayer in that. I would love to see controllers or tablets. I mean, that's great for the people who don't have 4 controllers, but I know what I used to do is I would tell my friends when they came over to play You Don't Know Jack, bring your controller. Mm-hmm. And then we don't have that problem. So I would like to see them bring that back. But otherwise, I think it was what, $25 and you get 5 games, and I think Fibbage and Drawful are definitely the standouts. Word Spud is okay. I know you weren't really super into it. It's a very simple idea. It's basically like just chain one word to another and then everybody votes if they like it or not. It's a very simple concept. I
just didn't get it.
Yeah, not something I think you'll play a bunch, but the other games kind of lift it up where it's like, oh, this is just a bonus.
Absolutely.
So, other games I played this week, Super Smash Brothers on the Wii U. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Why did I even buy the 3DS version at this point? Like, it's like this is going to sound really harsh, and I'm going to get some hate from some fans, but like, after playing the Wii U version, the 3DS version is garbage. I'm sorry. That is how I feel. It's like, I cannot go back and play the 3DS version because it's just like, you have this huge experience on the Wii U that looks beautiful. It plays smooth. It is so beautiful to look at and fun. I cannot go back and play it on the 3DS.
Right.
That just felt like an appetizer for the main course.
And
Right.
just to think, if they had not made the 3DS version, we'd have the Ice Climbers.
Yeah, I don't know. And some will argue with me, well, the 3DS version serves its purpose. It has separate modes.
Yeah, it serves its
You
purpose.
can play it portably.
Cha-ching!
Yeah, right. You can play it portably. I get all that. That's all fine and good. Yay for you, Smash Brothers fans. I'm glad you have a portable version. It's not... For the more casual fans, it's not worth it.
That's awesome that you have a portable version of your console game experience. Or if you had made a more powerful handheld system, you might be able to stream it to that console, like I don't know, the Vita does.
Maybe it's for people who don't have Wii U's.
Sure, why not? Are you saying you?
Well, that is
Yeah,
a lot
pretty
of
much.
people.
I'm their target.
But now that you've
demographic.
played the Wii U version,
Uh-huh.
are you like, I love Smash 3DS? Or are you like, this is a subpar experience?
Honestly, when we were playing on Friday, it didn't seem that different. I mean, like, we played the new levels. That was fun, I guess, And then the 8-player Smash was it was a little cray. Like, I couldn't see anything.
What
Yeah,
about
the
the level
8-player
editor?
Smash is a little crazy.
Yeah.
Level editor.
Yeah, there's level. I didn't play around a lot with the level editor yet. I just haven't had the choice. But because there's so much in the game, and I realize there's some things that like were in Melee that weren't in this, like the whole like story modes and things, which kind of sucks because I did really like that in Melee, and I don't really care for the board game they put into this. It's not really as rewarding. But there's still like to say it's a huge detraction from the game. There's so much other shit in there, like the home run challenges, the Mii battles, the classic mode where you fight the master hand at the end and all that, and all these other meta games they have in it. It's still a very rich experience, but I was perfectly content just playing the main Smash mode over and over and over again as we were doing on Friday night. I had a lot of fun.
Right. And that's why I think I'm not so sad that I don't have the Wii U version, because it's like, this is cool, but it's not like I'm not sad that I don't have it.
Yeah.
Or anything. So
That's probably Nintendo wants you to be a little sad because they do want to sell more Wii U's. So
sure, but I mean it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
That's fair. All right, let's see. Go into our chat room over at live.vognetwork.com. ActF says the 3DS version is great for what it is, but the Wii U version definitely blows it off the water. Let's see. Black Wolf points out the 3DS can be used as a controller for the Wii U version, and you need the 3DS game to do so. That part was awfully convenient.
Well, that's at
because-
least one way to play the better version on the 3DS.
But that actually did end up being very convenient because, like, all I have here are Wiimotes. We have, like, the Wii U gamepad is it. But I was like, Irene, Nathan, bring your 3DSs, and then you guys have controllers. And that actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and I was already used to controlling with it, so
Right.
it's perfect. Yeah.
And Nathan was able to get his custom scheme or whatever he has that he does. You were telling me not to let him do that, and I did. And then he kept
beat our
winning
ass
every
the
single
rest
match.
of the night. Yeah.
Oh, well.
I told you.
Amiibo integration. I did buy three. I bought my 3 amiibos. I have Mario, Peach, and Samus, which is good choices. Although I kind of wish I bought Link. Maybe
I wish you
instead of
did
Mario.
too.
Kind of wish I bought
Yeah.
Link instead of Mario, but that's all right.
Yeah.
The figures are well crafted, and I think the figures sit well on a display. As for the way they're integrated into the games, yeah,
Meh.
I kind of take it or leave it. Like, if you haven't seen it yet, you take your amiibo and you can tap it to the Wii U gamepad, and it enters the game as basically a computer-controlled character. But it's a special character that levels up the more you beat up on it, and it learns from you the way you beat up on it. If you tend to block attacks, they'll learn to block attacks. If you tend to do more of X than Y, they'll do more of X than Y. So they start to take after you, and they get a mind of their own, and you can level them all the way up to level 50. Why you would do that, that's the part I'm not understanding. What is ultimately the goal of leveling them to 50? And I'm sure some of the Smashaholics out there will be like, well, you can do a mode where it's you and your amiibo versus a friend and your friend's amiibo. And, you could have the amiibos fight each other to have like an amiibo-style tournament. And I'm kind of sitting here going, I think you're stretching a little bit with those functionalities. Those are a bit of a stretch from what the game is really about, which is beating up on your friends. But the figures are nice, and I sort of go, okay, if they get you little perks in games, then that's kind of neat too. I get a little extra outfit in Mario Kart. All right, cool. I get some extra weapons in Hyrule Warriors. Cute. I like that they at least function in more than one game, but I really think if you're going to obsessively collect these amiibo, I hope you like the figures. Because what they're going to do for you in the game, you could get one amiibo and kind of get a good enough taste of what they're going to do in the various games. You know what I mean?
So do they have any plans to make any amiibo-centric games where you need to have the amiibos to play?
Wait for Pokemon Wii U, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sure that is coming. I just don't know what it is. I would be very curious. Here's something not a lot of people have been asking this question, but I'm gonna ask it out here. What is the amiibo implementation going to look like in Splatoon? Because I could see that game really doing something with this, where you start to put the characters in Splatoon, and maybe they are, again, doing some type of level up or something. I would like to see something. I don't know if Nintendo's ever going to build this. I'd like to see something where I level up my character in I level up my character in Smash, and now when I use that amiibo in Splatoon, because it's leveled up in Smash, it can do this. You know, and something where the amiibos kind of become this like personal achievement gallery, if that makes sense. And the more I've played these other games and leveled up in other games, the more it's going to do for me elsewhere. I would really love to see Nintendo to go down a path like that. Not going to hold my breath, but that would be my, how could they make this even more exciting? So give me more of a reason to level my amiibos to 50.
Right. I was actually just going to say that because were you the one that was mentioning that if you get your amiibo to level 50, it's as strong as a level 9 CPU?
I think stronger
than a level 9. So I can see doing that, but aside from that, in other games, your amiibo's not going to really grant you any more power than other players, is it? It's just giving you extra perks, like fun, like you said, extra outfits.
It's like a little custom character that it's like a pet. It's a pet rock. It takes after some of your features. You know what I mean?
And they're how much each?
$12.
And how many are they planning to release total?
One. I don't quote me on this, but it looks like one for every character in Smash Brothers. That's the way it's going right now. So every character in Smash Brothers will have one.
So do you think this is more of like a hardcore collector kind of a thing, or do you think this is ever going to appeal to like the general market? Or?
I think it's both. I think it's a hardcore collector thing and it's the general market because mommy, I want the Mario. Mommy, I want the Peach. Mommy. I think that's...
Oh, you think the mommies are bad? I've been hearing all these stories that these are...
Well, and like, daddy too.
Well, no, I've been hearing all these stories though that like these are sold out at all these stores and stuff. I'm like, it boggles my mind. Why? I mean, yes, I understand that it's Mario. Cool. Okay, it's Mario. But the functionality with the games that support it right now is kind of I mean, it's not like Skylanders or something where at least those characters you can actually fucking play them. And it's a unique experience where it's like, ooh, AI character. Who gives a shit?
Did you read that fucking fan wank on a news site that I will not name, but it was a shapely article on why Disney should buy Nintendo. And it read like fucking fanfic that I was reading on this site because I'm like, Disney's never going to buy Nintendo. Nintendo's going to never let themselves be bought by Disney. But anyway, I'm getting beside the point. The only thing in it that made sense was Disney would want Nintendo because Nintendo has strong characters that 20 and 30-year-olds are very attached to. Which, Disney has a lot of characters that people are attached to as well, but some could argue that they target a different generation than Nintendo gets.
Well,
Irene?
no, I mean, you're right. 20 and 30-year-olds are very strongly attached to it, but also children of this era,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Because the 20 and 30-year-olds pass them on to their kids.
Exactly.
So absolutely.
Exactly.
So that was my long-winded answer to your question, was that it's the characters. The characters are so strong. It's the same. Why do people want toys from the latest Disney or Pixar movie that they see that don't do anything but have a swinging arm, or something like that?
The arms swing?
Sometimes. Depends. Anyway. All right. Wow. Sorry, I've talked a lot about my gaming week, but it was just a lot to play. I didn't even get into Little Big Planet 3. I played Little Big Planet 3. They have some new mechanics, like the gun that sucks and blows. And I think of that scene from Wayne's World. She's gone from suck to blow.
That's not from Wayne's World. That's from Spaceballs.
Oh, what's from Spaceballs? Why did I... No, what was the scene
really
where the haircut?
Suck. The suck cut.
It certainly does suck. Or I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so that whole thing, yeah, the new guns and the new elements that they do, they have that, and they have like the Portal-esque kind of gun that fires a ball, and if you fire it into a certain shape, it will port you there. And so, okay, that's all good, but what does this all end up being? This is stuff to put on the canvas for the level creators where the really strong content is going to come out. So I'm really excited to see what people develop with this. I'm enjoying Little Big Planet so far, but holy shit, we're an hour into the show. We haven't even touched news yet. So let me get to Irene quickly, and your gaming week and anything you want to share with listeners tonight on what you've been playing.
We already talked about it. Jackbox and Smash Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you
that's
go.
it. Yeah.
Well, thank you. You're giving up your segment essentially to help us save on time.
I think we already talked about it. So
That's true. We did. All right. Let's see. Alan Alchemy says it's sucking my will to live was the Wayne's World thing. That's sucking my
what
will
it
to live. That's it.
was.
All right. Let's get into some housekeeping real quick. If you missed the announcement last week, we will be doing our show on December 7th. That's in 2 weeks at a special time. That show will be broadcasting at noon Pacific time, 3 Eastern time, 8 o'clock for those of you guys in the UK. For what is that called? UTC or whatever that is. So we're doing that because Jamie and I have an event we want to attend personal later in the evening, but we thought it's a good 2-for-1 shot because our overseas listeners sometimes say, when are you going to do a show that we can participate with and we can call into? So here's your chance. December 7th, that will be broadcast much earlier in the day. But certainly, I'm not saying only UK people can participate. Absolutely not. If you happen to be around at noon or 3 o'clock or whatever, then by all means, listen and give us a call and all that good stuff. So we will be doing that in a couple weeks.
Or if you're not, it'll be rebroadcast at the regular time.
That's right. It'll be rebroadcast at the regular time right after Bobby Blackwolf. So however you and it will be on the podcast feed for those of you guys that are like, I don't do live shows. I don't do live I need you on Monday to get me through workday. Then we'll be there for you too. All right, let's get into some news already. Holy moly, busy week. Loki.
Yes, so busy week also for Activision and Blizzard. World of Warcraft has been having a little bit of issues, especially right after the release of Warlords of Draenor. They had people DDoSing their servers. They had, just queue problems. So they finally decided, hey, you know what? We're going to address this and, basically saying, the quality of the content does not excuse the subpar launch experience we delivered, and I apologize for that. And that's J. Allen Brack, the executive producer of World of Warcraft. And basically saying, you know what, we're making things better. We're working on reducing, the queues, and to compensate people for their troubles, we're going to give you 5 days of game time. So that's pretty nice. At least they're fixing that. And apparently doing pretty well, especially back up to 10 million subscribers after the launch of the newest expansion. So
how about that?
3.3 million copies day one.
So they're back up to 10 million. They were down to like 7.4, 7.6 somewhere, I heard was the last number. And now they're up to 10 million. So that whole peer pressure thing we talked about earlier and the feeling it's working on a lot of people.
I'd be curious, though, granted there are 10 million right now, but how quickly are they going to get through all that content? And just, is it going to be 3 months from now that they're back down to, they're going to see that drop again?
I think that's a very fair question to ask because Blizzard has really said nothing about patches and what else is to be looking forward to. I think they're going to save a lot of that this time for just when people are starting to feel burned out a little bit. And they're slowly rolling out content. That's what they do now. Like the raid isn't out yet. The raid launches, I think, next week. Don't quote me on these dates, but I think the raid launches next week for the normal raid, and then the Mythic, which is their new heroic, or however it all breaks down, that is out in 2 weeks, and the LFR happens then too, but you can only do one part of the raid in LFR. The rest of LFR opens up over the course of like 4 more weeks or something like that, which it makes sense the way they're doing it. I can't really fault them for the way they're slowly rolling out, and I think it does take a lot of that pressure off, like, I got to level up to 100 tonight. I've got to do it tonight so I can raid with the people or I'm going to get left out in the cold.
Right.
Like, thankfully, they don't do that anymore. So I'm okay with that. But, yeah, I mean, Loki, what is it going to look like in 3 months once a lot of people have gone through the raid? I don't know.
Well, and also the fact that a lot of the time that was, because they have that token to level you up. Remember I forget what it was now.
The boost to 60?
Yeah.
Or the boost to 90, excuse me.
Boost to 90 or something. So that's going to take a lot of the grinding time out. So...
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of quickly, it's gonna make the game go a little bit quicker for you. So I don't know if that's, a great thing.
So many of those people have so many alts already at 90 because of Pandaria's drought. I think they're probably not as worried about it. I think it's interesting, though, that out of 10 million subscribers, only 3.3 million bought the expansion. But one thing to consider, that number is from the first 24 hours or something like that, and it doesn't include China, which you probably can figure half those subscribers in the 10 million are China, Asia, and other regions that don't have that expansion yet. So 3.3 out of 5 million makes a lot more sense, because I know not everybody jumps on board with the expansion right away.
And also not everyone's going to jump aboard the first 24 hours. I mean, people got to wait for paychecks.
Exactly. So that makes a lot more sense when you consider that. But when I first heard those numbers, I was like, why did only a third of the players buy the expansion? Oh, it didn't come out in China at the same time. Got it. That's why. So, wow. It looks like the expansion is doing very well for them. If you really want to push me over the edge, Blizzard, because here I am looking, all my friends are playing WoW. Maybe I should play some WoW. Tell me what the patches are going to look like and what there is to look forward to and what my money's really going to end up buying. Because if you can, kind of get that one, I don't know what it is that would be that key thing that would bring me back. Maybe that level syncing I've always talked about. I don't know why fucking they don't do it, or maybe more 5-man dungeons. Would get me really excited. That's probably going to send me over the edge, and I'll do it. I'll go back to WoW.
I don't know what exactly is happening with Warlords of Draenor. I haven't watched any trailers. I haven't really heard anybody talk about it to me because I'm not interested in WoW. But have they talked about some of the ways that this expansion is going to be different from the last couple of expansions that they've had, last few?
Well, they've been pushing the garrisons, which is the new.
I know what
it's
the
their new
garrisons are.
profession, basically, but they don't frame it as a profession. But the garrisons, and it's a return. It's let's do the time warp again, because they're going back to Burning Crusade to fix a timeline or something like that.
Right.
So it's a whole time travel thing that they're doing. But then they took a lot of talents out, is my understanding. They tried to now Blizzard had to simplify their own MMO to make it more accessible.
But you know what? That's good.
Yeah,
because
I
they
think
were
it is.
just getting too disparate with their stuff, and that's kind of what I mean. Is not in terms of what they're adding, but how they're making the gameplay experience different from what were very mediocre expansions.
And they did the item squish.
Yeah.
That happened. So now, the math and all that isn't so obscene with how much stats everything has. But I haven't heard a lot about PvP. I didn't hear about any new battlegrounds or anything like that. But one thing, Pandaria did have 2 or 3 new battlegrounds. There's a lot of battlegrounds in WoW. I kind of miss them.
I do too.
I actually really enjoyed the PvP game in WoW, which is weird because I don't usually super get into PvP, but some of those battlegrounds were really fun. I know you hated it, but I loved Isle of Conquest, which was a lot of fun. That new one they put in really wasn't bad, and I don't even remember the name of it. It was the very last one they did. The Goblin Mines or something. Or no, there was a Goblin Mine. That was one. Then there was another one. Anyway, sorry. It's been a while, but yeah, there's a lot of fun PvP in there.
Right. I mean, they don't need to change anything really with their battlegrounds, I feel like. I mean, they can stop making new ones. I mean, the people that, for me, when I was PvPing, I did Gulch all the time. I sometimes did Basin. I don't need them to reinvent the wheel for me. I'm playing them because I like it how it is, and it doesn't get old for me because it's playing against other people that's making it new every time. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and as much as I love Final Fantasy 14, it really doesn't have a strong PvP game right now. They have one arena, and they have something called Cartno Flats or Frontlines, which is sort of Arathi Basin, sort of. But the weird twist on Final Fantasy 14 is that it's 3 factions, not 2. So everything is now is 3v3 or whatever you call it.
Right.
So it kind of puts a new twist on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, and also, I mean, a lot of the PvPers are they're playing the MOBAs now. So they don't really need that from WoW.
Rama in our chat is asking, wait, when did this become WoW Lounge Radio? Hey, you know what? Because 10 million people are playing World of Warcraft right now. It's kind of big news.
What happens when you miss an episode of...
That's right. So I take an episode of Whorehouse off. All right. Look, you want to hear consoles? I'll tell you consoles. Here's the thing. Your Sony information is safe. That's the news. Because there was news out there that apparently about 2,000 PlayStation Network logins had been hacked. But Sony has responded saying, we've investigated the claims that our network was breached and have found no evidence that there was any intrusion into our network. Unfortunately, internet fraud, including phishing and password matching, are realities that consumers and online networks face on a regular basis. We take these reports very seriously and continue to monitor our network closely. Apparently, a group did take responsibility finally for, speaking of World of Warcraft, the denial of service attacks that were happening on Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV. We're also claiming to have obtained this information. But Sony saying there is no move along, nothing to see here. That is what Sony is saying. I still think this is just a good reminder. Use a different password on these technical sites than you would use in other places, because this Sony, Blizzard, Square Enix now, apparently, Microsoft, all of them are targets.
And
you should have
two-step authentication when you can.
When you can, have two-step authentication, absolutely. Your email is a must. Because if somebody gets control of your email, that's it. You're done. They can get anything else. Your banking, whatever else. Get two-step authentication on your email, if nothing else. So just a friendly little reminder from us here at Orange Lounge Radio, because we don't want dickbags to steal your information. Your information is important to us.
Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome. Anytime. That's what we're here. We're your friends. Loki.
So this is pretty sweet. There's a new Kickstarter. Yeah, I know. Another Kickstarter for another game. But this is awesome because it's Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick. They're doing a brand new Maniac Mansion style adventure game. And it looks straight up like Maniac Mansion. I mean, the old school LucasArts, point and click adventure game. It's called Thimbleweed Park. And
it's Brainiac Branchen.
Oh, that hurt.
It looks awesome. So go check it out. They're gonna pretty much hit their funding. They're already at $355,000 of their $375,000 goal, and they have 24 days to go.
Wow.
So there's pretty much no chance that they're not gonna.
Happening.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Interesting. People really longing for those 2D adventure games.
And it looks.
I remember at some point people tried to say that genre was dead, and then Telltale puts out all these like award-winning games, and fans are doing these 2D. I mean, like, this genre is not dead. People still love this stuff.
Just the art style and everything looks just like it's like straight up out of the the 90s. I mean, they even have like little like animated image here. It looks like it's all use balloon animal with corpse. Or you can try all those things, and that's awesome.
And who wouldn't try to use a balloon animal with a corpse? Really, I mean,
This is getting into awkward territory.
This is pretty awesome. And some of the rewards, let's see here what they're giving away. $20 gets you the game. If you want to spend more than $20, looks like 30 or 25. 25 is the I pirated Maniac Mansion Monkey Island when I was a kid, and I feel bad. This reward tier instantly absolves you of all guilt, including the Thimbleweed Park game.
That's kind of funny.
Subsequent tiers also include guilt absolution. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Looking at our chat, Dungeon Buster says Cinemaware is also doing a Kickstarter for an HD version of Rocket Ranger with new gameplay bits. Just tell me when they start kickstarting a new Legend of Kyrandia, all right?
Seriously, that would be awesome.
Game Guru says, donate to this game or the hamster gets microwaved. That was my favorite part.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
That's awesome.
That's a dark place. Let's see. SSJ100 Matt says, I think people just desire the old days where that, quote, not the greatest game of all time, Super Metroid ruled. Why did you put that in quotes that it's not the greatest game of all time? Because it is the greatest game of all time. Who would dare argue with that sound logic?
Excuse me.
It's because
only an idiot.
It's because games like Maniac Mansion and Secret of Monkey Island and stuff are just timeless. They're just greatly written games.
And also, even though that one bullet point was supposed to be funny about the piracy, it really unveiled it there. Absolve yourself of the guilt from being a kid. Hey, kid, now that you have a job and make money, give me your money.
Right.
I mean, that's a big part of it. It's stuff we remember.
Hey, back in those days, it was difficult to pirate games. You had to rip apart those discs And I'm not talking about the actual floppy disk. I'm talking about the code disks that you had to turn and match up the phrases in order to photocopy those.
Or I had to call my friend and be like, all right, get out the box, turn to page 24. All right, what's the third word in the second paragraph?
Dorks.
You know what we're talking about, though. Come on.
I do.
Get out.
That's why I say it.
All right. Or one of my favorites was Covert Action, where it was like you had to have the page of the mug shots, and you had to be like, which one is this operative? And if you get it wrong, the game would be like super hard. You couldn't do anything in it. Anyway, good times with copy protection.
Good times.
Do you have any copy protection memories?
No. Moving right along.
Space Quest 4, I remember, and because I actually did buy the game and I had the manual, and sometimes I'd still get it wrong.
Mine was Leisure Suit Larry, the remake that they did, because you had to answer trivia questions to get into the game, and they were it wasn't really copy protection, but it was making sure you were of age. And so it would ask you questions that only somebody in their 20s or 30s would know the answers to. But we got them all right. We'd be like 13. We get them all right. It's like, yeah, we're going to see some pixelated titties.
Why were you excited?
I don't know, because
Everybody
mob
likes-
mentality. Everybody likes titties.
Yeah,
that's
pixel
true.
tits. The next
That'll be
game.
It's the sequel. At the top of part B, by the way, I got to ask you about last week's show.
Okay.
And this whole pixel shits phenomenon, but we'll save that for later. Anyway, let's get into another story, and this one is about the game Evolve, which a lot of people are looking forward to. This is that whole 4 versus 1 game. Lots of people looking forward to this, and some folks going to be very happy to hear that DLC maps in Evolve, they will be available for free. And this is to ensure that you don't have like one person who doesn't have the maps. They're not able to play multiplayer matches with other people, or getting kicked out of public rooms because they don't have a certain map. So they just decided, you know what? We're going to make the maps free. So that's always nice to hear about free DLC. But just so you know, Evolve will have some other pay DLC. For example, you're going to have characters and monsters that are pay DLC. But the good news is, even if you didn't buy them, if your friend did, you'll be able to play against them. And that's all right. I mean, we were playing Mario Kart 8. I didn't even talk about it during game week. We were playing Mario Kart 8 with Extifer online, right? He has not bought the DLC pack, but we were able to still pick Tanuki Mario and Zelda and Link from Zelda, and he was able to see them in the race. We couldn't do the new tracks,
Right.
but we could do the new characters.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like something similar with that. So,
Right.
yeah. All right.
Good times.
Good times. So that is Evolve and DLC. All right, we are going to now travel around the world and check out some release dates and see what is coming to a gaming store near you.
Well, after last week, you would think that there'd be a ton, but no. Actually, it's died down to nothing again. We're back in the drought, thankfully. So this week, we have Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed for PlayStation 4, which I'm actually thinking about picking up because, I don't know. I need more PlayStation 4 games. Maybe I should get Far Cry instead. Persona Q, Shadow of the Labyrinth on 3DS. And that's literally it. Just those 2 games.
I guess it's slowing down a little bit now.
Quite a bit. Yeah, once we get into December, it's going to be dead.
Yeah, yeah. Geometry Wars is the big thing I'm looking forward to this week, but that's all online.
Yeah.
Right. Which, if we go over to Europe, I'll do this out of order here a little bit. We'll go to Europe and look at the releases there. In fact, Geometry Wars is out this week on the 26th on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. Little Big Planet gets its release overseas in the UK also on the 26th of November. On the 27th of November, Raven's Cry hits the Mac and PC platforms, and the delayed for Europe Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Pokemon Omega Ruby make their way on the 28th of November. That was the slap on the hand to the entire country for leaking X and Y early. Remember that? X and Y got leaked early in Europe, and it was a Europe store that had put it. So Nintendo punished the whole country by putting it out a week later there. So that'll teach you to leak a game early. Do not fuck with man. They're a force to be reckoned with. But I know a lot of players overseas eagerly awaiting that. Let's talk about Japan. Dragon Age Inquisition gets its Japanese release on the PlayStation 4. I don't know if that's localized or if that's with like subtitles or something. It doesn't really say. I would imagine this is a subtitled version, but it is available for the PlayStation 4 in regular and deluxe edition on November 27th. Simply Series G4U Volume 1, The Mahjong, is also out on November 27th because I know y'all love Mahjong. Little Big Planet 3. Oops, sorry, that is somehow a Europe date snuck its way on my list there. But NBA 2K15 is something you can check out in Japan, also on November 27th. Many of those same games on the Xbox One this week, including Dragon Age Inquisition and NBA 2K15. Microsoft Xbox One's edition comes out on a disc version in Japan this week. There's also some new game pads, some black and blue Hori pads, if you want to check those out in Japan. On the PlayStation 3 this week, Biohazard HD Remaster, which of course is Resident Evil, that is releasing this week. There's also a collector's package and something called an eCapcom Complete Edition. Dragon Age Inquisition also on the PlayStation 3. I had no idea the Inquisition was also on last generation's consoles. Yeah. That blew me away. If it's buggy on the new ones, I can only imagine what the old ones look like. Sorry. Buyer beware. Let's see, on the Xbox 360, Dragon Age Inquisition, as well as Sakura Flamingo Archives. Your guess is as good as mine as to what that's all, like Flamingo Festival? I don't know. On the Wii U this week, Gotuchi Setsudo, Gotuchi Chara no Nihon Zenkoku no Tabi comes out this week, which is, I'm trying to see if this is a series I recognize. This looks like a Mario Party-esque kind of game. But these are not characters I recognize, so it might be tied into like a Japanese TV show or something like that. Oh, they have a little trailer. I did not realize that. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's...
It's always better when you yell it.
That's right. There's like trains and they're in Japan. Yeah, it's Mario Party. That's what it is, basically. All right. So that is what you have to look forward to on the Wii U this week. So there you go with releases. We're going to get into a few more stories here in the classic game of the week. But I thought I would say hello to, just walked into the studio here. Hello, Jonas. Welcome back.
Hello.
You're here again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start charging. I'm just kidding. How you doing?
Actually, I'm doing fine. Sorry, I came in a little later than expected.
That's fine. It happens. Big game release week, right?
Oh, yeah. That's been keeping me busy.
So I'm thinking you've probably had a chance to check out Super Smash Brothers on the Wii U?
Yep.
What'd you think?
So far, so good. I mean, I like it so far.
Yeah? You getting excited about implementing this at anime conventions? Because, you know, for those
that's pretty much my whole email bucket.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So when you check the emails for the Teabaggers, the big anime game room, when's the Smash tournament?
They're asking about that. It's still to be announced. We'll probably announce it in a week or two when we get all the schedules finalized for SAC Anime.
Have you played around with the... Oh, that's right, because SAC Anime is, first weekend of January, right?
So January 2nd to the 4th.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. No time after the holidays. No time. You hit the ground running. It's time for an anime con. Amiibos. Have you had a chance to play around with that at all?
I haven't had the time to test out Amiibos, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you know, like people can level up characters that learn their own stuff. So my question is, are you going to have a contest where it's just Amiibo versus Amiibo?
That would be pretty cool.
That might be kind of interesting. Amiibo versus Amiibo.
Right now, we're thinking about it, but we want to test the waters first.
Okay.
Because we don't want to overwhelm. Like, let's say, for instance, we're going to throw an Amiibo contest. And guess what? 128 people show up, and you know how long that will take.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
We want to play a little safer.
8-player Smash, if that's the case. 8-player Smash. And you better be here 5 minutes before your time, or you're out, buddy.
And from what I've heard, you might as well get those 4-player adapters, or at least 2 of them, if you want 8 players as soon as possible, because those prices are going to skyrocket.
If you have not already bought the GameCube adapters, you better be prepared to put out on eBay to buy one.
Or just put out.
Because they're gone. They are unless Nintendo, kind and benevolent, does a reprinting.
Oh, no, they'll do a reprinting.
For the adapter that works with one fucking game.
Oh, they'll do a reprinting, of course. And guess who will be exclusive to?
Don't you dare. Bite your tongue. just in time for GameCube games coming to Virtual Console. That
It'll
would be
triple the cost too. By the
that
way.
would be that would be why. Then they'll release a bundle where it's like you get this and a code to get Super Mario Sunshine. Adapter get.
But I think those adapters are not like $100. It went from like $20 to $100.
It's crazy. Yeah. Please don't pay those prices on eBay. You don't need a GameCube controller that bad.
They're
You do not.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't fucking play Smash with the fucking giant controller, you know what? Then maybe you're just bad at Smash. Like, I'm just going to say it. If you're that reliant on a GameCube controller, maybe your skills aren't that good. I'm sorry. Come at me.
And also, if you don't want to spend $100, you have to find the places that actually still have it.
Yeah. Which you won't.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. You won't. All right.
Of course, Pokemon's also taking my time too, unfortunately.
All right. S2 Matt saying, don't say it, Loki. Don't say it. Do not. Don't you dare. All right. Jonas, we'll be checking in with you again as we move on with the show here. And feel free to chime in if you have anything to say on the news as we move on with some more news. Loki.
Yes, because it wouldn't be like the GameCube without an evil G in there. All right. Anyways, so let's talk about the Game Awards because hey, that's right around the corner, isn't it? Remember the whole independent game? Well, it's not on Spike anymore, but there's
surprise. We're having an award ceremony next month.
Yes, and they have nominees from each category, and here's the full list. And we'll just go over some brief ones here. Best online experience: Call of Duty, Dark Souls 2, Destiny, Hearthstone, or Titanfall. Hearthstone's gonna be a tough one considering how the launch was, but whatever.
You're thinking World of Warcraft. Hearthstone's fine. Hearthstone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I'm thinking World of Warcraft. Yeah, Hearthstone's fine. Best family game: Disney Infinity 2.0, Fantasia, Mario Kart 8, Skylanders, or Tomodachi Life. I think Mario Kart 8's got that in the bag. Best sports / racing game: FIFA 15, Forza Horizon 2, Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart 8 again, NBA 2K15, and Trials Fusion.
Get to the big stuff. No one cares about these piddly categories.
All right, let's see here. Game of the Year:
There we go.
Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, Hearthstone, or Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. That's kind of a weird culmination, I have to say.
Right.
And of course, the entire internet piping up on where's this? Where's Smash Brothers? Where's Shovel Knight? Where's and nobody's happy with this final result. But I think it does beg a good question. How did they come up with this list? And there's like a jury or something, right? That's all these random men. Because I don't think there was a single woman on it. There's all these men, maybe one.
Is there ever a one?
All these
on
well.
these panels?
Good question, but anyway, on the jury, and then there also was like a page that showed all the I don't know if they were like sponsors or partners or something like that. Like Ubisoft's one of them, and so the one that struck me as really interesting. Do you have the nominees for Studio of the Year? I'm sorry, I have to say something on this.
Is it Developer of the Year?
Yeah, Developer. Of the Year.
Developer of the Year. Blizzard Entertainment, Monolith.
Let's stop and go over each one as we go.
Okay.
So Blizzard Entertainment, which obviously the behemoth of Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm doing great for them. World of Warcraft, everybody's playing WoW again. Maybe not so great with the launch, but they're having a good year otherwise.
Monolith Productions.
They made what am I thinking? It's they do Wii games, right? It's didn't they do
The
Xenoblade?
Yeah.
is
Xeno
them.
series?
But Xenoblade wasn't this year. That's why I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be the game they were nominated for. What's the big game that they did this year? They didn't do Bayonetta.
I don't know. Nintendo.
Wait a minute. No. Somebody's got to answer this question. Why is Monolith on the list?
Nobody knows.
I guess all the hype for Xenoblade for
Wait a
next
minute.
year.
No, there's Monolith and there's Monolith Soft. And we're thinking Monolith Soft, right?
No, this is Monolith Productions.
Yeah, that's something else.
That's why. Monolith Production. Okay, that's why. Okay. I'm like, what the hell did they do? Okay, Monolith Productions did Shadows of Mordor. So that's why they're on the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Nintendo.
Okay, which, Nintendo did Mario Kart and Nintendo games, yeah.
Telltale Games.
which I was like, wait a minute, Tales from the Borderlands isn't out yet, but the Fable game,
Wolf Among Us.
Wolf Among Us, has been very well received, so I can see that.
In Ubisoft Montreal.
And they're one of the
Hold on,
sponsors or
hold
something.
on, yeah. And not only is Ubisoft one of the sponsors, what games did Ubisoft make this year? Specifically, Ubisoft?
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Which now to be fair, I talked earlier in the show about how wait a minute. If we're gonna razz Assassin's Creed Unity, we got to do a little razzing on Dragon Age Inquisition as well. But still, the studio that was infamous this year for a comment about what they can and they can't render, and that whole thing. I'm very surprised that they're on the list when maybe Yacht Club Games, who made Shovel Knight, who's basically kind of the Kickstarter phenomenon they kind of personify. Maybe would be.
They also made Far Cry 4, but then again, they also made Watch Dogs. So
the studio that had the E3 footage that didn't match the final game.
I'm not sure if that's. I don't think that studio did all three of those games. I think that they're just kind of lumping all this stuff together because it wasn't all Ubisoft. Ubisoft Montreal was in every fucking game that came out from Ubisoft this year. There's no way that was the case. Just unfortunately, I think the information I was looking at was lumping everything together.
I'm sorry. I would like to know who on the jury actually wrote that down on the paper. Because all these people that are on the jury are the same. And this is the thing. If you're an Assassin's Creed fan and you're like, Rob, stop fucking picking on this game. Here's the thing. This is my point. This jury is made up of all these people that are in the industry and right? Who all gave that game shit. Mm-hmm. The reviews across the board have been harping on the same thing. Yet those same people ended up nominating for Studio of the Year?
Maybe it's a joke.
I don't know.
Just something doesn't
Satire?
add up. Something doesn't add up. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and then let's see what else here. Best Independent Games: Broken Age Act 1, Monument Valley, Shovel Knight, Transistor, and The Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
And Assassin's Creed Unity.
No.
Yeah.
Now, Dungeon Buster points out that Ubisoft Montreal also did Child of Light, and that was a pretty good game. I don't know if I would look back on that was one of the year's best, but that was a good game.
Okay, come on. This is a little ridiculous. Best fighting game.
All right.
Killer Instinct Season 2.
Okay.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Okay.
Super Smash Bros. For 3DS. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U.
Both got
and
nominated.
Ultra Street Fighter 4. That's a little...
Was it a slim year for fighting games? I mean,
apparently.
What came out this...
Yeah, that's pretty much all that came out, really, because a lot of the games are being delayed for next year. So it's been a really slow year.
Well, then
for fighting games.
here's a thought. Just throwing
So
this
Smash
out there.
Brothers did get nominated.
I'm just throwing this out there. Here's the thought. If you don't have enough entries for a category, don't do that category.
Or you cut the number of nominees. That's what the Oscars does. If there's not enough nominees for Best Animated Picture, then they only have 3 nominees.
Right.
Anyway, there's a lot of question marks with this, and no award show is going to be perfect. And I suppose here we are buying into it because we're talking about, that's what it is. It's buzz or whatever. But I'm kind of looking at this already going, this thing's got problems, and I don't think I'm going to be watching.
Right. It's a little
Best
sloppy.
action adventure game.
Fighting game of the year. They can't really say much because there's only 5 games around that really just came out. Everything else either came out years before or coming out next year.
That's the thing is also some of these games, that just came out literally Friday. And it's game of the year already. It's okay.
Right.
I'll cut them slack on that because press would have access to early copies of the game so they can write their reviews. So I would imagine that the people on this jury were pretty well seasoned in the games coming out this month because of their review copies.
And also, not to be a dick about this, but why the hell are people doing game of the years when the year is still going on, even if you get the early copies?
To be fair,
it's pretty much over.
The Grammys do a similar thing,
Yeah.
and everybody respects the Grammys for some reason, which if there's one award show that's worse than any of this, it's the Grammys. Seriously, I'm just calling people out tonight. I don't care. The Grammys are awful. If you really think about it, the Grammys are horrible. They are the worst of all the award shows. They really are. Do they ever pick a good song to win for the year? Ever?
I don't watch them.
It is what it is, okay? It's a giant circle jerk. That's all this
Yes.
is. I mean, who cares? Who cares if someone says, Ubisoft's, Assassin's Creed Unity is the game of the year? If you don't think that, then who cares? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It's another sticker or label that goes on the cover of their Game of the Year edition. That'll come out next year.
Oh,
Right.
VitPower in our chat says, "I'll be at the Game Awards in the audience." Well, sir, I would like I want a man on the street report from you. I want to hear about it all. I want to hear how it goes, how your experience is, and all that. Because you know what? If you have a great time, that's all that really matters, right? I mean, these awards are da-da-da-da-da. If they have really good performances, if they have some games maybe available in the lobby for you to play, some other fun things, then all this is for naught, right? So I hope you do have a fun time at the show.
But it's still a stupid award show, is what Rob is trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I hope Kevin Spacey wins for best performance because he was fucking awesome in Call of Duty.
Yeah, game of the
he's
year.
Kevin Spacey.
Too early.
Right.
Especially with, again, back to the game of the year things. Because if they do a game of the year, what if like a patch came out that fixes, let's say, like Assassin's Creed Unity? Oh, it kicks ass. It fixes all the bugs. Everyone wants to play it now, kind of thing.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. And then all my hating is for naught. But
Yeah, like
all those other people
let's say
too.
the patch was released December 31st. Mm-hmm. If it fixes every problem that you said in the radio show, and it's like, and you play, it's like, oh my god, now this is game of the year.
Well, it was ineligible. Like the Grammys run, I think it's October through October. Like the Grammys aren't really the year. The Grammys only run to October. That's why weird shit wins.
Yeah,
like
but-
you'll be hearing about who won the Grammys. And you're like, that fucking thing came out like last October. Why is it winning now? And it's because of the weird eligibility window.
Yeah, the reason why I bring that up is because the year is not over. People can there's still things and updates that will still go on. Once it hits January 1st, okay, now you can say, oh, now game of the year, because at that time we're in the new year and okay, we're expecting new stuff. So anything that gets released like 2015, that now belongs in the 2015 categories.
SSG 100 Matt saying, "Oh snap! Rob is going after the award show Loki rant style." And Kaijudo says the Grammys pick real artists. They don't always pick mainstream. Grammys are legit. Three words for you: best new artist. Look up the history of that category. And I'm not just talking about who wins, but who gets nominated. Because you look at that category and you go, the fuck? Anyway.
And
Which is honestly an award they shouldn't even give out. But
Let's-
this is not a show about music. It's a show about games. But I'm just saying the Grammys, they're awful.
And let's be honest. Okay, the real reason that you would watch this show, at least in the past, the reason I watch this show is because of the trailers that for the new games that aren't even out yet.
Right.
New trailers is really why I want to watch the show, and I hope they have new trailers. I hope we have another trailer for No Man's Sky because that's a game I really want.
Some announcements would be really cool too. Like maybe Nintendo will drop an announcement of something that's going to be in the first part of next year that we don't know about yet. It's plausible. Why not? So we'll see. Reggie's face was on the site somewhere, wasn't it? He's one of the guys contributing. I don't know. Speaking of Nintendo, this is pretty cool turn of events here, and I don't know if there's a lot of details on this because I think it happened out of an event in Japan that's being reported on. However, word on the wire is that Satoru Iwata, president of Nintendo, said that fans can now use company properties for a number of different things, such as Let's Play videos, which that's where I start to go, wait a minute, did they really say that? Fan art and much more. They will be joining the Creative Endorsement Program, which rewards folks that get work that is popular and well-received in Japan. They will be sponsoring the Tokaigi, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry, Game Party, yeah, thank you, which takes place early next year.
Yeah, a little bit of clarification though.
Okay.
Apparently,
I knew there had to be something with this.
Yeah, there's a new bit of information. So apparently, not everything is allowed, and this only applies to Japan. So they're saying that they announced on the stream videos featuring their games properties uploaded to nicovideo.jp is allowed. It says, so far they've acknowledged it for Let's Plays, game music covers, and fan art, nothing else, under the Creative Endorsement Program from Nico Video. So it's only for that one site. It's only for Japan.
Okay. So I knew there had to be a little twist in here somewhere. So good to know. Thank you.
So yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case.
So you can't go and profit off all their stuff on.
You can't
YouTube.
go make that fan Mario game that you're planning on doing, or
bummer.
making whatever.
Yeah, Project M is still illegal. Sorry. That's a good point. All right, let's go back in time to a more classic time in games. Let's go back. You didn't have like freaking patches that changed the game completely. Well, unless it was like the translation patch for Second Densetsu 3. Like maybe that was a thing. But anyway, we go back to a simple time. Actually, tonight's pick goes way back, further than that. Tonight's pick goes back to 1984. It is the classic game of the week where usually Dark Sakura jumps into the gaming vault and picks a game that she thinks, hey, you should be playing this game this week. But since Dark Sakura isn't here, guess who's picking the game?
Yeah.
Me!
Wow.
So tonight I have picked a game that was on a multitude of different platforms, but of course I remember it most fondly from the Commodore 64, and it's because of those sweet, sweet chip tunes. And I think all I have to do is play the intro song for you guys to know this game.
It's like they said the name of it in the intro or something.
Exactly, that's right. Tonight I'm going to talk about Ghostbusters. Specifically the 1984 edition. Let me skip ahead to some actual gameplay here in the video. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Ghostbusters from 1984 because there were several different editions of Ghostbusters games, but this is really the classic one that I remember from being a kid. Like this was the stuff that like I went to the store and I saw this on like the demo computer and like I lost my mind because this game looks so awesome. And Irene, you grew up on Commodore 64. Did you ever play this?
I played this.
Did you like it?
Yeah,
this
it was
game
so fun.
Fucking awesome. Like there
Yeah.
really wasn't anything like it. Now they did port it to other platforms. It wasn't just on the Commodore 64. It was on the Atari 2600. It was also on the Sega Master System, but it was kind of a crappy port. And it was also on the NES, also a crappy port. That's why I picked the Commodore 64 version, which is a little more true to the original. This was a game by the infamous David Crane, and that's also part of what made this game special. And if you don't know that name,
I know him.
like all the great Atari classics were David Crane. He made Pitfall, Pitfall 2, Kaboom. Like back when Activision was like almost like an indie developer studio. Is that music too loud? I'm sorry. Let me turn it down a little bit. Although the chip tune is so awesome. Like,
Right.
It's
totally
the song.
fine if it is.
I know, exactly. It's like part of the game right there. So anyway, he made all those games. He also made this game. Now, Crane wrote the game in 6 weeks, and it was the Commodore 64 version that he wrote, and I believe the Atari 800 game he also wrote as well. He had made the game based off a concept he had called Car Wars, where you had automobiles in a city, which led to the driving sequences that were present in the game, where as you were driving from building to building, you could suck up ghosts in the ghost vacuum that you would attach to your car. Yes, this is all a thing, okay? It was the 80s, and if you ever saw the Ghostbusters movie, some of this stuff was in the movie as well. So you could suck up the ghosts and so forth. Now, Activision had the license to Ghostbusters to do a movie there, and then Crane watched the film after doing the game. So he was already done with the game before he even saw the film. So he wished he could have done a better victory screen and so forth, but he wasn't able to do that. I'm assuming he had to know some things about the game, though, because the Marshmallow Man's in it. Like, you wouldn't know about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man unless you've seen the movie. Anyway.
Of course.
The game was also ported to the Spectrum, the Amstrad, the MSX, and oh my gosh. So in the game, you pick from one of 4 cars with your bank money that you have. But the funny thing is you can't afford the 4th car with the money you start with. And there's a reason why. We'll get into that later. So you have to stock up your car, and then you drive around the city, and buildings will get attacked by ghosts. And you use the streams, but don't cross them. You use the streams to try and lure the ghost into the trap, and then you fire the trap and get the ghost. And then that is how you basically get money that you save up. And I think you also affect the energy meter. And you don't want the energy meter to get past a certain point, or you won't be able to get past the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, who comes out late in the game. And then at the very, very end of the game, you have to sneak by the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man to get to the top of the building where the game comes to a conclusion. Now, other versions of the game, the NES version and I believe the Sega Master System game, had like a level where you actually climbed up the building when you got to the very end of the game. I don't believe that was in the original version. So yeah, and also this game is infamous. The NES version was actually ported by a Japanese developer, and they had some really bad English at the end of the game because the ending screen says, "Congratulations, you have completed a great game and proved, with 2 O's, the justice of our culture. Now go and rest our heroes." That was literally the end game screen in Ghostbusters on the NES. You see this text in a later Ghostbusters video game as an Easter egg. It's in the background, hiding somewhere.
That's awesome.
So, anyway, this game was huge. In fact, it was so huge, it was one of the most pirated Commodore 64 games of its day. This and The Print Shop were 2 of the most pirated titles. I swear to God. I'm reading it right here. The Print Shop and Ghostbusters were 2 of the biggest pirated Commodore 64 programs in 1985. So there it is. So, apparently an enhanced remake of the Spectrum version was released as freeware for the PC in 2006. I did not realize this. I'll have to check that out at some point.
I had no idea.
So yeah, that's Ghostbusters 1984. My pick for Classic Game of the Week. Irene, any memories with this game? Things that...
Not really. I didn't play it very much. But you know what else David Crane made that should be featured as a Classic Game of the Week?
I will write that down and send it to Dark Soccer for consideration. What?
It's on the NES, and it involves a certain person feeding another person a certain kind of candy.
Oh,
you know
yes.
what I'm talking about?
That's
Yeah.
right. I know what
Yep.
you mean.
Yep.
All right.
Wink,
okay.
wink, hint, hint.
Feeding the jelly beans. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes, exactly.
That was a David Crane game.
That was, because it always said David Crane's title of the game.
That guy was infamous. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, good game. Good game.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't mention this, but at the end of the game, once you beat it, you get a passcode that you use the same name the next time, and you start with as much money as you finish the game with at the end. This allows you to buy the more powerful car and some of the more powerful enhancements for the vehicle later, so you can, I guess, do speed runs and shit. I don't know. So there it is. Loki,
cool.
did you ever play this? This seems like the type of thing you would have lost a few hours on.
I'm pretty sure I've played it. I don't remember which version I've played.
Yeah.
But I've played it. I know I've played it.
Probably the Atari 2600 version looked a lot like this, except the buildings were just solid colors.
Right.
It was like you'd have a green square that would
I
flash
think
red.
I may have played the NES version.
Yeah.
But
Congratulations.
Can you prove that?
All right. Dungeon Buster says the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is insanely tough to sneak past in that version as well, talking about the remake. Apparently it's hard to find because the main page hosting it was abandoned there. So, very interesting. Dungeon Buster says you usually had to start with a Volkswagen Bug as your first Ecto. That's right. That's right. Or there was that big, the big white car. Is it a hearse? I don't know. I use that a lot
I think
too.
so. Yeah.
So there it is. Classic Game of the Week, Ghostbusters on the Commodore 64 and a host of other platforms as well. So,
Good times.
did you like that pick?
Yeah,
I like that
absolutely.
pick.
It was a good pick.
All
Solid
right.
pick.
There it is, your Classic Game of the Week. Dark Soccer will be back next week to pick a new game for you guys. I'm sure she'll still be on her. What's her kick that she's on now? Capcom arcade games or Sega arcade games? One of the two. I don't know.
I don't remember.
One of the two. But there you go. I have to break her streak with. She's never going to pick Commodore 64 games.
Why?
Because she didn't really grow up with it the way like I
She's
did.
picking like
So?
was it CPS3 games now.
And
or
I think
something?
she's on CPS 3 games or something. So, but anyway, she does pick a lot of obscure stuff though. I think we complement each other well because she picks games that I've never played, and I'm sure. She probably played the Ghostbusters game. To be fair, that was kind of everywhere.
It is a popular
She probably did play that one, but some of the other ones. I almost did Last Ninja tonight. She probably never played that.
game. Really?
Yeah. Well, if you didn't own a Commodore 64, you didn't really have a way to play it.
That's true. Yeah. I appreciate that you're showing Commodore 64 some love.
I'm trying here. Jonas approves. Commodore 64 love. Did you grow up on Commodore 64 or no? You kind of missed that.
I don't think I was born. I mean, when 1984, I was like 1 year old.
Oh, yeah,
Well-
you're a little young.
Here's the thing. I didn't grow up on a Commodore 64. I had a Commodore 64 when I was like 14. So it was like in the 90s because we were poor and we're like, hey, let's get the Commodore 64. It's like $20. So from our neighbor. Yeah.
I still think it was a underrated gaming console,
Right,
because you could do
right.
a lot of games on it. But anyway, all right, we got to take a break, guys, because we're running long tonight. We want to come back and make sure we get your calls on our Skype line at Orange Lounge Radio, all one word. I want to talk about that giveaway. We're going to be giving away a copy of the Jackbox Party Pack, and I'm going to tell you how to do that at the start of the next segment, and we're going to get into rapid fire news and so much more when we come back with more of Orange Lounge Radio. Welcome back, everybody, to Orange Lounge Radio, live tonight on this Sunday evening, November the 23rd of 2014, episode number 576 of our show in progress. Dark Sakura, she is not here tonight. She's at a party for her husband, who's having a birthday. But here in studio with me, Techmaster Loki, of course, as well as Princess Irene joining us from the Multitap podcast. You missed a fun little part A if you're just joining us. Irene and I had some real in-depth talk on World of Warcraft. It'll make you miss this week's Horde House. And then also we talked about Ghostbusters.
We did
We
a little
did.
bit. Yep.
Like what else in the news and all the stuff
And
that came
other
up
sorts
from
of
the show.
things.
Also in studio, of course, Jonas from the Big Anime Game Room, Teabagger, talking a little bit about Smash and all the games that came out last week. Have you had time to play anything else this week, Jonas, or just Smash?
Nope, unfortunately, because the day before I actually finished all the pump videos.
Oh, can we finally see your
Yes,
your
it's-
second place pump finish? Is that available?
Yeah, it's available online.
Oh,
And
I somehow
on
missed it when it popped through on Facebook. I didn't see it.
1080p at 60 frames a second.
Fucking Facebook, fucking not showing me. Like, you know how Facebook does that? Like, it won't show everything that a page posts on your feed. Like, is it too hard to ask for a social network where I control what I see? Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
Facebook's acting a little finicky over those matters.
Well, God, you should see. Like we actually have had a lot of great content on VogNetwork.com this week. Like, I will admit we've had a bit of a drought in content, not podcasts, just like the written content that's on the site, because it's an all volunteer group. You know, people. Unfortunately, we can't afford to pay people right now. So, but if you want writing experience and want to try to get more exposure and write stuff, please contact me, Rob@VogNetwork.com. We're always looking for more writers, not just on game content. Actually, I'm really looking for people for like movies and some other. We have TV pretty well covered, but movies, books is another big venture. Would love to get into. Irene,
What about poetry?
if it has a geek angle, why not?
No.
So
Don't
all
let me
that.
write about
So we've had a great amount of content in the past week and so forth at Vogue, and I'll post about it on Facebook, and it's like 30 people reached. And I'm like, wait a minute, we have way more people than that who like Vogue Network, but they don't push it because we don't pay for it. And because it's a link to our site, they're like, oh, this is spam. This is spam. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, well, yeah, Facebook acts. It's weird on these matters how the reach counts matter.
Yeah, it's weird. But anyway, please do check out all the great content this week at VogNetwork.com. We have Eric from the RP Grinders podcast is reviewing games. He just did one for Tales of R on the PlayStation Vita. And then just today, we pushed a review. John from Critical Myth reviewed Assassin's Creed Rogue, the other Assassin's Creed game that people weren't talking about as much. So now, okay, let's talk about Rogue for a little bit. So John did that as well. Henry, also on the Critical Myth team, pushed a review of Interstellar, the movie. And remember, it's where everybody has a voice, and you can leave a response review. So if you read Henry's Interstellar review and you're like, I disagree, this movie I felt, meh, so you can leave a response review, and it shows right there on the page right next to Henry's review. So very cool. So check that out, all at VogNetwork.com. Before we get into rapid fire news, the folks over at Jackbox Games, very kind to give us a code for the Jackbox Party Pack. Now, I can give you this code either on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. So whichever platform you're on, we've got a code for you if you are our big winner. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to have a little contest. Now, because this is like a $25 game, we are going to make it work a little bit for it. This is something a little more than previous. So what we want you to do, one of the games in the Jackbox Party Pack, and again, thank you to Jackbox Games for providing the codes. One of the games in the Jackbox Party Pack is Drawful. And in this game, you have to draw what is otherwise like a nonsensical phrase, and all you really have is your finger and the frickin' tablet. So we would like you to submit your best drawing for Orange Lounge Radio. whatever it is that you associate Orange Lounge Radio with. Maybe you're going to draw a picture of a ferret. Maybe you're going to draw a picture of Loki screaming something. Maybe you're going to, I don't know. But we want your best drawful for Orange Lounge Radio. Oh, but there's a twist. Because you can only use your finger and the thing, it has to be ugly on purpose. So we are requesting that you only use MS Paint. So you are give us your. You will be deducted points if your drawing is too good. Okay, so we want you to submit those, and you can only use MS Paint. I'm sure the Mac users are like, "What about me?" Whatever the equivalent is on the Mac, isn't there like a Paint thing built into the Mac? I don't know. Whatever you know what the equivalent is over there. You can only use that. Okay, so only. But you can use a brush and a text tool, maybe. I don't know. If you use a text tool, you still don't get to use that on the phone. You get to use a brush and one color. That's it. So we want your best drawful for Orange Lounge Radio. You're going to send those to participate at orangeloungeradio.com and make sure in the subject so we don't miss it, it says Jackbox. So something about the Jackbox contest. So Jackbox in the title and submit your best drawful. Here's the beautiful part. Dark Soccer is not here tonight. She has no idea this is happening. So when she opens up the mailbag next week, she's going to see these submissions. So we will ask Dark Soccer to pick her favorite, knowing these rules, and that will be the winner. And again, please include in the email if you would prefer a copy on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, so we make sure we get you the right code from our friends over at Jackbox Games. So, to summarize, what the hell?
Sorry,
are you
I was
looking at over
pulling
there?
up his video.
Oh, you're looking at his pump video over there? All right. Listen, Loki's looking at something over there. All right. So to summarize, you are going to submit your best drawful using a very simple paint program that has a brush only. You are going to send that to participate at orangeloungeradio.com, and you're going to make sure the subject says Jackbox in it. Now, these are due by the next show, so we want everybody to be able to participate, both the live listeners and the people on the podcast feed. So these are due by the 30th at, we'll say, noon Pacific time or 3 Eastern time. That gives us a time to go through and make sure we got a winner before the show starts. So those are due on the 30th at noon. So if you're listening to this after because I'm still getting contest entries for something we gave away like 2 weeks ago.
Why did that guy with the really high power, powered camera come up and take a picture of your ass within like the first few seconds?
I don't know.
And he's just like kind of shrugs his shoulders like, okay, I'm doing that.
I don't know about that part.
You better watch it, or I'm going to ask people to submit pictures of Jonas's ass for the Jackbox competition. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that to you, buddy. All right, so there it is. Have fun. Enter the competition. It'll be fun. All right.
Good time.
Are you going to submit, Irene?
Yes.
You're not eligible. All right.
I'm going to do it anyway.
All right. Robert M. is asking, is there a PS3 version of the game? I'm sorry. I believe there is a Does the PS4 version work on the PS3? Oh, shit. I'm being put on the spot. I believe the code he gave me works for both because it's cross-buy. Loki, will you do some research for me real fast and figure out if live radio folks figure out if the Jackbox Party Pack is cross-buy on PlayStation 3 and 4?
Sure.
I think it is. And if that's the case, then yes, the code will work on PS3. So
You didn't mention that also for Drawful you can't erase. So maybe that's something else to.
That's going to be a little harder to figure out if somebody did that or not. So I guess we'll let you slide on that. Okay.
What to draw? You said it could be anything related.
Just if the clue was Orange Lounge Radio, how would you draw that for somebody else to guess?
I hope
Could
that
be.
someone draws like World of Warcraft stuff because all we've been talking about tonight's World of Warcraft.
Yeah, except then I'd be like, what a great picture for Horde House.
It doesn't say. I don't think it is, but it might be. I don't know.
I thought he said something about PlayStation 3 and 4 being cross-buy. My advice to you, if you only are on PlayStation 3, enter anyway. I will, and if you can't use the code, I'll do my best to get you a PlayStation 3 one. I bet I can get it. So, but I don't believe I can get Xbox 360. Sorry. So, yeah. Sorry about that. I should have researched that in advance, but the code, I believe, will work on PS3 or PS4. So, all right. That was a really good question. Oh, you know what? Stay tuned to our Twitter, twitter.com/OLR, and as soon as I know the answer, I'll send a tweet about that. Okay, let's do some rapid fire news and travel around and check out some quick news. What's been going on, Loki?
So now with the Xbox 360 version now free to play as well, Defiance as a whole has finally gone free to play. Defiance, if you may not remember, was the MMO that they launched. Was it last year? Maybe even the year before last. Basically tying in with a sci-fi TV show by the same name. I actually played a little bit of it. It was kind of lame, but it was all right. I don't know. Worth checking out, I guess. But now that it's free, might as well check it out. I guess if you did happen to buy the game, you do get some additional goodies, including, they say, a 30-day patron pass, 4 character slots, and 1,000 Arc Forge, which, since it's been so long since I played that, I don't remember what the hell any of that means. And I guess it's all the content up through the aftermath of Season 2. So, might be worth to check out. I mean, if it's free, so why not? Now, this is kind of funny. Coming out with a Kiva's trip later this week. If you happen to stream the PlayStation 4 version, there's going to be some integration with Twitch. Some funny integration with Twitch. They have chat commands that you can type in, and things will happen. For example, if you type in tourist or gaijin, you'll summon some tourists into the game. If you type in Gothic Lolita, you'll get a Gothic Lolita. Or if
sounds like Scribblenauts all of a sudden.
Yeah, like if you type in auntie, someone's auntie will show up. They're also saying that, like, guess you can do like panty jump, and it'll blow all the panties and stuff in the air. Crazy stuff. So I don't know. That sounds funny. So yeah, that game's coming out this week on PlayStation 4. So if that's interesting to you. And then I guess more amiibos, of course, right around the corner, and more exclusive amiibos to different locations. So if you want to collect them all, you're going to have to go to a few different locations and pick them up. For example, they're saying that Meta Knight is going to be exclusively at Best Buy. Lucario is going to be in Toys R Us. And Shulk, of course, going to GameStop. So that's kind of lame. I don't know. I don't like that whole idea, with having to travel around.
Yeah, I don't like the whole exclusivity thing, but at least they spread it around so that not one store had one exclusive.
It could be timed exclusives because there was that issue with, I know Disney Infinity had Jack Skellington was at GameStop for like 4 weeks or something before it came out everywhere else. So I don't know. The other thing I read was apparently the next batch of amiibos is supposed to launch on the 14th of December. So all those like Mega Man and that kind of stuff is supposed to be December.
All right. Just a follow-up in our chat, they are saying that the cross-buy does not work on Jackbox Party Pack. It is not cross-buy between PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. I'm still pretty confident that I can get you a PlayStation 3 code if that's the only thing you have. So you know what? I'm just going to throw it out there. Go enter, and if you want it on PlayStation 3, even if I can't get a code, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. If you win and you're PlayStation 3 only, I'll buy it. So I want everybody that has one of the systems to be able to participate. So there you go. All those systems. So be sure to specify in your entry. All right. Let's move on with some other rapid fire news here. Mario Kart 8. Some minor tweaks going in with, a lot of people talking about the DLC, but some of the lightweight racers like Toad and Shy Guy actually had a little bit of a tweak. Some balancing came to the 3.0 version update to lessen the collision impact with heavier racers, because I guess when you would slam into a big fatty like Bowser or Donkey Kong or what have you, your character would go flying. So if this is something you didn't really care for, try it again since they did the update. A quote from the Mario Kart 8 director: "For this update, we made just a minor tweak to the way two players deflect when they collide with each other. Up until now, when two players collided, the more lightweight racers would get knocked too far away. That, combined with other overall elements we considered, made us conclude that the lighter racers were at a bit of a disadvantage. If you like Toad or Shy Guy and feel you can't win at all, go ahead and give them another try after applying the update. Also note that this tweak doesn't have any effect on time trials when playing solo." All right.
Okay.
let's see. Microsoft has celebrated 1 year of Xbox One by sending out prizes. That's right. They have sent out prizes, quote, selected at random to receive a special gift from us, these various console owners. Some of the things you can win. You can actually win console bundles for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Sunset Overdrive. Guessing not too many people got those. You can also get a 1-year subscription to Xbox Live Gold. Free copies of Limbo apparently are one as well. Or from our call with Bobby Blackwolf, or I heard it on his show earlier tonight, you might get money for Grand Theft Auto on the Xbox One. So there's a variety of different things you can get in there.
I read some of the people, a lot of people got just like a free digital poster, which is like worth nothing.
Yeah, or a gamer
like,
pick.
Thanks for nothing, Microsoft.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
like nothing. It's almost as good as like when they gave you, was it 25 cents worth of Microsoft points for your birthday? It's like, fuck you. I mean,
Well, now, something to point out here is that if you are 17 or older, you've used your console for more than 10 hours, you're in one of the original markets for Xbox One, and you made your purchase before November 11th of this year, you're going to get the Year 1 Celebration Box, which gives you a special gamer pick and desktop background, and free rentals of Halo 4, Forward Until Dawn, and Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. You also get a sampler pack of Dragon Ball Z episodes. So, no word if, there's over 9,000 episodes given away or whatever. All right, I had to work in a joke. All right. Also free on the Xbox, Atari Game Over. That documentary we've talked about way too much on this show. The hour-long feature is now available for viewing. It talks about the video game crash of 1983 and, of course, Atari throwing away all of the E.T. video game copies, which somebody thought it would be fun to dig them up and sell them on eBay to people who like to buy other people's garbage. There you go. So now that documentary is available for viewing. I haven't watched it yet. I think I need to. I'd like to check that out. I was old enough to remember. I mean, not to be like old grandpa, but I am old enough to kind of remember when the shit hit the fan with the Ataris, and you've had just bins of games that they couldn't give away. It was crazy.
I remember those big bins of games going in the game stores and seeing that stuff.
Yeah, right?
Speaking of Atari, because it reminded me of the flashback stuff, the ColecoVision flashback is not in stores around here. And online, they're trying to sell it for like twice the retail. So what the fuck is up with that?
Oh, no. Let's go to our Fugle question of the week. Every week, we ask you guys a question on our Facebook and Google Plus communities. You throw those words together, you get Fugle.
Et tu vas rien comprendre.
Facebook.com/orangeloungeradio or Google.com/+orangeloungeradio is where you can find us. And we're going to get to the question that we asked our communities, which was, we asked a very simple question in the communities this week. We just wanted to know, how was your gaming week? We always ask ourselves that at the top of each show to establish a frame of reference and what types of games we've been into and, what we can kind of talk about for the week. But the reason why we asked it this week is because with so much that has come out in the game stores this week, we know there's a lot to pick from. So we want to know, what is it that you've been playing? Or maybe you really just, life happens. You can't afford to get anything right now. So what classics are you revisiting or what games did maybe the rest of us forget about we ought to be going back and playing this week? So checking out some of the answers on Google+. I'm going to have to abbreviate a lot of these. I'm sorry, we're just running way over tonight, and I want to make sure we end at a decent hour. So Brosame says, Freedom Wars, Super Smash 4, Evil Within, and Lords of the Fallen. The first two are amazing, and the latter are buggy on PC. Let's see. Redtertainment replied and said, WWE 2K15 came out, and there are complaints about it. This week I started playing WWE 2K15. Some features are missing, but as far as major complaints, I only have one. When I pre-ordered the game, I was promised that I would get the wrestler Sting as a download character. When I picked up the code I was given a code on my receipt from GameStop to download the DLC, but it isn't good until December 16th. He tried to redeem the code, and it didn't work. He tried to call Microsoft support, and that's when he finally found out that's why it wouldn't work. So maybe a little more communication, maybe on the box or on the receipt or from GameStop would be helpful. I have heard that game is a little bit buggy. I'm not super into the wrestling games myself, but I've heard some things about them being buggy. Prince Peach Fuzz. I like that name. Prince Peach Fuzz replied and said, I have dusted off my Vita and I've been playing SteamWorld Dig and Hotline Miami. Been loving both games so far. That's right. Both of those were free on PlayStation Plus as well. So free is always a good way. I mean, well, I guess you're paying for PlayStation Plus, so it's not that free. But free is a good way to check out some of those classics. Act Deft says, I'm playing some Animal Cross New Leaf for the first time in months. My village is still intact. I also played Spelunky and Team Fortress 2 and Smash Brothers for Wii U most of the weekend. Those are some answers from Google+. Let's go over to Facebook where there's a ton of answers. I'm going to have to really kind of run through this. Of course, I closed the tab on accident, so I'm bringing it up again right now.
Way to go, Rob.
Way to go, me. Maybe I'll get it someday here. This is because I complained about Facebook earlier. I'm now being punished. Oh, hey, Dark Tetsuya responded and said, Mario Kart 8, Mario 64, and stuff on Connect, like Rhythm Party. It needs more songs. Kane I Am says, Final Fantasy 14 has eaten my soul. Yeah, mine too. Andy R says, Little Big Planet 3 story just finished. Outside of that, Vita Love, Freedom Wars, Hatsune Miku Project Diva F2nd, which I can't believe that's the first time that's come up tonight, but that was another big release. Tales of Hearts R, and Andy R says, Tales of Hearts R is awesome. I highly recommend it. You should go leave a response review on Eric's review at vognetwork.com. Silent Tom says, Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart 8, rockin' my Link amiibo. Cial says Borderlands the pre-sequel, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, Minecraft Starbound, and Pokemon Omega Ruby, which, again, another huge game that came out this week that none of us have gotten around to playing yet. But I'm sure at some point Shane will invade the show and tell us all about what we're missing with Pokemon, because I know he wasn't into it at first, and then he said, oh, but they do this thing in the grass, and it's so cool now, and I completely changed my mind. Slurping Slurpee said, I've been binge playing Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo CE through Halo 4, logged into League of Legends to check out the new champion Kalista, and started a free trial WoW account to check out the new character models. They're nice, but not enough to break my 1-year-long WoW sobriety. Lords of the Fallen, Dragon Age, and Grand Theft Auto 5 are unopened and gathering dust. You hear that? Slurping Slurpee has a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 Gathering Dust, Loki. He's just shaking his head. Low Cat Frog responds and says, did my yearly tradition of the most current Assassin's Creed and playing through Grand Theft Auto 5 on Xbox One. Well, there you go. The next answer redeemed it a little bit there. Red the Haze saying, enjoying old DS games on my brand new $60 3DS XL that was price matched at Walmart. Freedom Wars on Vita, and got some old Skylanders for cheap on PS3 and 3DS. Elliot B says, I haven't bought new games in ages, but I spent a jet lag recovery day getting reacquainted with Rock Band. It's still so good. One of my favorite names, William Murderface, said, I'm getting into Dragon Age Origins, not Inquisition, Origins, and I've been playing Payday 2 and Guild Wars 2 for the umpteenth time. Winston H. says, Bust a Move 1 and 2. Once my finals are over, I'll go back to Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. That was a game we used to play the crap out of all the time, was Bust a Move.
Yes.
Oh
good
my
times.
God, so good. Or Bust a Groove or whatever.
I was going to say, I wasn't, yeah.
Yeah.
Bust a Groove.
Same thing. Because it was Bust a Move in Japan, and then here, somehow Bust a Move was Puzzle Bobble.
Right.
Somehow, which had the most interesting PlayStation 2 box art I've ever seen in my life.
I don't recall it. But
Get him to Google it or
right,
use your tablet. Look it up. Bust a Move on PlayStation 2. It's like, what? Our pal Tiara responds and says, so much Dragon Age Inquisition. So much. Tiara, you need to leave the hinterlands. You need to stop you need to leave the hinterlands. Get out of there.
I'm thinking about picking up that game.
Yeah, you're going to break. Codeman says, Dragon Age, and oh yeah, Transistor. Haseo Sumeragawa says, bought a DS to catch up on the games I missed so much right now. Final Fantasy 12, Revenant Wings, and Pokemon Black. For the Vita, I'm cracking out on Borderlands 2. We played Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and finally the PlayStation 3 Far Cry 4, which is amazing, not going to lie. Fifth Dream says, so much Dragon Age Inquisition and Tales of Hearts R. I've also been playing a lot of Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and a little Project Eva F2nd. I have a bunch of games from the last month I've put on hold this week with more games coming on Tuesday. Critical Myth says mostly Assassin's Creed Rogue and Final Fantasy X HD Remaster. And last but not least, Veronica Isabel saying Tomodachi Life and Solitaire by Mobility Ware's Daily Challenges. I keep putting off downloading Star Trek Online and beating Pokemon X. There you go. Those are the answers there to our Fugle question of the week. I'm really surprised in there how much of that content, I know there was a lot that I read, but I'm really surprised how much of that was not stuff that came out this week. In fact, there seemed to be like 2 or 3 people that were like, I just got a DS, and so now I'm catching up on all this stuff. So, Irene, you kind of mentioned earlier in the show, that's where you're at right now is playing a lot of DS stuff, so you are not alone.
It's my people. The poor people of the world.
Well, you need to talk to the guy who got a $60 price match DS. That's
right.
Yeah, right?
Lucky.
Or what about those
Good
people
job.
that were, I don't think we're talking about it, but the people that were exploiting the price matching over.
Well, that's exploit. Essentially, that's stealing. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. That's stealing. I'm assuming the $60 price match thing was legit.
They did have, though, one time it was a glitch on the website where they actually had Wii U's and PlayStation 4s down.
The Sears.
Yeah, Sears had the down really
From
cheap, and so
what-
people were price matching off the website glitch. So
From what I understand, that was actually, I think, a former employee issue.
Oh no.
I was like, oh boy.
Well, then that's
But yeah,
illegal. But anyway.
Let's just leave it at that.
All right, let's move on. We got some more news to get into, and we want to make sure we have some time to get into your calls. We got the email bag too, so we're going to try to jam through these stories. Loki?
So you may remember that Activision and Vivendi were together at one point, and now, there was a whole buyout thing. Basically, some lawsuit that's now resulting in Vivendi paying $275 million to Activision to settle the litigation. And I guess this happened, was it starting last year? I sort of remember part of it, but I don't remember exactly the details of why one was suing the other. I'm assuming over probably payments or something like that. But yeah, well, I guess at least that's settled. I don't know. Oh, here we go. The lawsuit alleged, I guess, breach of fiduciary duties, waste of corporate assets, and unjust enrichment. I have no fucking clue what any of that means.
None of us do.
Bad
Legalese,
business
legalese,
stuff
legalese,
that CEOs and corrupt people participate in. I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
All right. If you've downloaded anything on the iTunes store lately for your iOS platform, such as the iPhone or the iPad, you may have noticed that the term free has changed to get. This is because there's been pressure from the European Commission that a lot of these free games are not really free because they have in-app purchases. So, for example, the newly released Candy Crush Soda Saga. I can't say it without verping a little bit. I'm sorry. I shouldn't judge a game I haven't played, but I'm going to judge this game a little bit. I'm sorry. You can now see that on the store. It says get because, to buy your snozberries or whatever it is that will do the magic on the board, to buy your burp machines. I don't know. What do you buy in Candy Crush Soda Saga?
Bunch of bullshit.
Soda.
Some Alka-Seltzer. I don't know. It's not really going to be free because those are all microtransactions.
Right.
So there you go. Which, somebody's got to put out a game named Shine, so I can go Shine Get.
No.
That's the second time I've made a Mario Sunshine joke tonight.
I think you've
So-
hit your
And I've
threshold.
hit my as we're done for the
Yeah.
year. No more Mario Sunshine jokes for the whole year. We're done.
Right. I'll
All
hold you
right,
to
Loki.
I don't know how to follow that, but I'm going to. Let's talk about Steam sale. Yes, your wallets are already shivering in fear, but apparently the Steam sale will commence the day before Thanksgiving, and it will run up through December 1st. Apparently, they're saying an email was sent out by PayPal encouraging people to stock up on Steam wallet codes. No confirmation yet from Valve, but that sounds like it could make sense. I know they normally do a sale. I'm not sure it's necessarily the fall sale right at Black Friday, but usually around that early December time. So I guess we'll just have to look out for all the sale.
This is also the precursor to the winter sale, really. I mean, this is just like wetting your whistle a little bit for games that'll be even more deeply discounted during the winter. So
when's the winter sale usually? Is that in like next year?
Christmas.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's usually about, I want to say it starts around the 27th or 28th. Like it's after Christmas and then runs through like the New Year's. But I could be wrong. So somebody like Ragenator or somebody who's a little more tuned in to Steam might know a little more about when those sales start. But then the other exciting thing is that, there's more stores out there than just Steam. And all those stores will start having huge sales as well to kind of compete with that. In fact, Good Old Games just finished a big sale that they were having. So
I used to get a lot of stuff on the Amazon digital store because they would have Steam codes. So just keep an eye out for that stuff. Or if you don't want to worry about aggregating that stuff yourself, cheap ass gamer. Yeah.
Let's see. Kaijudo says, I think I'm burned out on Steam sales. They don't have much of anything anymore. Don't want to bother with any more early access games. SSG, I agree. There is a lot of that going on, where there's a lot more of that coming onto the store where it's like, buy my half-finished game. And, I mean, it really depends on the developer and on the game if I'm going to buy into something like that or not. Let's see. SSGO 100 Matt says, week before Christmas, I think. And ActDef says, around Christmas and ends after New Year's. I don't know why I thought it started after Christmas. I could be wrong. All I know is that my wallet can't take it this year. All right, there is a new MMO coming to PlayStation 4, but this one's going to be a little different. It's a game called Wander, and in a note to the PlayStation blog this week that was written, they talked about this game and how it is a non-combat MMO. You explore an environment in several different forms: a giant tree, a soaring griffin, a sea creature, and more. So this is a game about exploration, but you don't fight. You find clues by examining your surroundings. You might find other people who help you and share information. And you may hear like opera singers, and that leads you to something else. In some way, this kind of sounds like what if they made like an MMO out of Journey? That's almost what this sounds like. It sounds really fascinating though. Like I like this idea of like, this is a game about exploration, and that's it.
Sounds like that one indie game. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember which game it was now. I have it. I'm just, what the hell's it called? It was very like low, like pixely, and just kind of wandered around and stuff happened.
Mist Online.
Not Mist, but
was reminds me of this a little bit because I don't remember there really being combat in Mist Online.
Proteus. It reminds me of Proteus. That's the game.
Well, anyway, Wander will be playable at the PlayStation Experience in Las Vegas, so I'm sure we'll be hearing more out of this. Is our Vegas guy, VidPower, is he going to the PlayStation thing too? I bet. All right, let's go to the mailbag. Every week you guys email us, mailbag@orangeloungeradio.com. And Dark Soccer dives into the mailbag and finds some emails to read. But, she's not here, so I guess I'll put on her gloves and dive into the mailbag. Again, that's participate@orangeloungeradio.com if you want to send us emails. And I was very bad and not logged in already, so I'm logging in right now. Sorry, guys. I remember there being, oh my god, I was like, the mail box exploded. Oh, because we're already getting entries for the Jackbox contest. Hooray. Let's see.
Would it be wrong to peek at some of them?
No, I'm not going to peek. Okay, maybe I'll peek at one. All right. The Serping Slurpee says, hi, Rob, Jamie, and Loki. I was wondering if you guys do anything special when picking up a hotly anticipated game on release day. I skipped the gym. Tuesday is leg day anyway. Get a 6-pack of Dortmunder Gold. I don't know that, but it sounds like alcohol.
What?
Go to Penn Station Subs for an 8-inch Italian, giggity, with large fries. I see what you did. It took me a minute. An 8-inch Italian with large fries and a sweet tea. Game, pig out, and regret it later. So some Ursa being Slurpee. Do you have any rituals for new game releases? That's a good question. Honestly, I don't. I love your idea that you pick up a sandwich and go to town.
That sounds really good considering how terrible my sandwich was.
It does. You're making us hungry. No, but I really don't have a ritual. I don't really go to midnight releases anymore. I would say my ritual is sitting by the door Is UPS here yet? Because I kind of buy my games
Seriously,
online.
fuck the midnight releases. Okay, now I'm not sure if this was a special exception with Grand Theft Auto, but that shit fucking unlocked at 9 p.m. the day before.
Yeah, but then you have to buy digital.
Who gives a shit? I was going to pay $60 anyways. Oh, I'm going to sell Grand Theft Auto, one of the greatest games to ever grace the consoles?
Or you convince someone to go to the midnight releases for you. And that's what I did with Dragon Age Inquisition. I was like, Shane, you're going to get the game. Right?
Or it's like a game like Call of Duty where they give you the copy on PS3 and PlayStation 4 for the same price.
Actually, interesting enough, since I brought that up, the Dragon Age Inquisition thing, GameStop started selling it at 9 o'clock here. They didn't do a midnight sale. They did a 9 o'clock sale. And I think it's because of digital. I think GameStop has finally started saying, look, if you guys release it digitally at 9 o'clock, we're going to start selling it at 9
Yeah, because they make their own fucking rules. They'll basically, the street date is this.
Yeah.
Well, fuck you. We're going to do what we want. What are you going to do, not sell at GameStop?
Yeah, right? I'm kind of not surprised that they're playing hardball like that, actually. So, sorry, I didn't mean to derail a little bit there, or be your question, but
Just glad to not have to deal with that drama anymore.
I just try to make the time. I don't... For MMOs, I've taken a day off of work. Talking
Naughty.
about a productive life playing with MMOs. I've taken days off work to play that, but
I've done that too.
I remember when Final Fantasy 11 first came out, I had like 2 days off of work when it came out so I could play Final Fantasy 11.
11 was amazing.
It was amazing. Those was good times.
When the fuck is that going to free play? Defiance came out way after Final Fantasy 11. Come on. Come on.
Come on. All right, let's see. Raginator has emailed us saying, hey, peeps, it's your favorite person in the world, Raginator. I just thought I'd pose some questions this week. Actually, I want to go back to the chat real quick because I want to see if anybody else said what they do because I like the question about the rituals. Let's see. Borat says, I want a big, greasy hamburger. I'm jealous of California for In-N-Out Burger. To be honest, you should be.
Yeah,
In-N-Out Burger is
absolutely.
really, fries well done. Marvelous. Anyway, but we don't have Dunkin' Donuts, and I love the coffee. So there is a trade-off there. Now, I would give up Dunkin' Donuts coffee to keep In-N-Out Burger, but I'm just saying there is a trade-off. Anyway, Kaijudo saying pre-order killed the midnight release. SSG 100 Matt saying console midnight releases could be fun with friends. Again, last time I did a console midnight release, Extra waited in line for me. It was awesome.
I think we should do one, Rob, for a game that's not hotly anticipated. Well, I guess they don't really do that, do they?
Yeah, they don't do midnight releases for unpopular games.
Well, you can go and then show up and be like, well, I'm here to get, Barbie
Express
Fun
or
Pack,
something.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure or whatever.
Right.
All right.
Sorry, we don't have that delivered yet.
Back to Raginator's email. Sorry. I just thought I'd post some questions this week. As I'd mentioned on Bobby's show tonight, Steam is an upcoming sale this week. That being said, are there any games that you folks are looking to pick up during the sale?
God, I don't know. See, here's the thing: is I can't buy any modern games anymore because my laptop cannot run that shit. I mean, it barely. Titanfall melted my last laptop, so this one, it runs Titanfall, sort of. I mean, I can't really pick up anything that's non-indie, and even some of those indie games I can't. And there's really not anything out there that's like, shit, I don't have this yet.
I can't really remember off the top of my head, but I know I have a wish list on Steam, and I'm sure if something on there gets low enough, I'll buy it. Sometimes I have a tendency to buy like indie games that just look cool, especially if they get really cheap, like they're just like between like under $5, because I have money in my Steam wallet. So if something gets cheap enough, I might just be like, why not? Let's buy it. Super Hexagon for 39 cents. What the fuck? Why not? Of course. So let's see. On a semi-related note, I imagine that you all have a fairly decent-sized gaming pile of shame in regards to unplayed Steam games.
Oh, God, yes.
If you were to make a rough guesstimate, how many games or what percentage of your games remain unplayed? For me, of my 457 Steam games, roughly 43% of my games remain untouched. Oh, this is a dick question. This is shame. This is shame right here. What is it, Loki? What percentage of your library is
It's
unplayed?
loading. It's taking its sweet time loading.
All right.
Rob's is
I'll get back to it.
100%.
No, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to guess it's like 60.
Only 60?
Only
Are
60.
you lying to me?
If you combine Alan and I's library, it's probably more like 80. But it's I would say 60.
Does it count just if you play it for like an hour or two and then set it aside? I mean, what
I
are
think
we
that
talking
counts.
about?
I think that
Okay.
counts. But like, if I loaded it to see the title screen and that's it, then it doesn't count.
Okay.
But the reason why is Humble Bundles and bundled games and things.
Oh yeah, Humble Bundle.
Like I bought an XCOM bundle and I played maybe one game in the bundle. So I mean, keep in mind there's things like that. Like it's not like I buy all these games just to never play them. I get a lot of games I just wasn't really looking for.
Nothing. I just saw an update, and I just remembered something that a news story I'm going to talk about later. But that's fine. But no, to go back to what I have, 301 games. I guarantee I probably played about 3% of those, if not less than that. I think I literally. I don't even remember how many games I played, but I've played less than 5%.
Your answer to Raginator's question is 97% of your library is unplayed.
If that's probably a very conservative estimate. That I'm betting it's a lot higher than that. That I have not played that. I would have to go and look at all my. I'm sure they've got some sort of record somewhere of what you've actually played.
All right. Lastly, in Raginator's email, finally, on an unrelated note, is there any chance that we can get another Rob Diva fit? It's been a few years since the infamous one, and in my humble opinion, we're kind of overdue for one. No, you cannot have another Diva fit. I don't get paid enough on this show to have a Diva fit on demand. I'm not your fucking Switch. That's the best I could do. All right, let's see. We have a few emails here from Robert M., and I think one of them was a follow-up. Oh, yes. Let me get to this main email here that he had sent. Not to be, quote, that guy, but I believe Battletoads was a joint project between Rare and TradeWest, the latter of whom was owned after bankruptcy, at least in name by Midway, according to my limited research. Who knows if a new game would require Warner Brothers involvement? That's a very good question. You're not being that guy. I'm okay with being wrong, you guys. Like, nobody out there knows every single fucking thing about gaming.
Because remember they had
Yeah, there's Battletoads versus Double Dragon.
Yeah.
When you say that, yeah, that makes total sense. And it's just I don't claim to know every single nook and cranny about gaming. Probably Captain Spike at Game Buoy probably does know everything about gaming. Honestly, he's probably the closest person I've met. But yeah, I mean, like, that's why I love doing live radio, because you guys kind of give that instant feedback. And, you know, if you're not listening live, you can email us. So don't be afraid to email us and say, hey, you got something wrong on the show. As long as, you know, the presentation is everything. Because if you email us going, fuck you, you fucking fuck, I'll just be like, oh, the delete key, how'd that get hit? But if you email us, as you did, saying, hey, I think this might actually be the case, then I go, oh, that sounds like an informed opinion. Gold star for you, sir. Also, I recently restored and rebuilt my iPod Touch to try to fix some play count syncing and memory issues, losing my game saves and other data in the process. I had just purchased and finished the Forgotten Shores expansion to Monument Valley, which was, despite negativity in reviews for the DLC cost, absolutely worth the asking price. However, the app does not currently have a Restores Purchases option. I did send the developer feedback, and I'm waiting for a reply. By the way, he did get that feedback. He said there is a Restore Purchases option. He heard back from the developer there. So there you go. Thank you for the email. Appreciate that. I think that was the email on the sandwiches, the 8-inch Italian. So that's it. So if you want to email us, participate at orangeloungeradio.com. Don't forget the Jackbox contest going on as well. Make sure Jackbox is in the subject there, and you can win a copy of a 5-in-1 game pack. It's an instant party.
Mm-hmm. You want this.
Yeah, it's good. And if you're on PlayStation 4, you can share play, and you can have a party in 2 homes. Mm-hmm. Lice Water has like 100 players.
Right.
You can have a party in an auditorium if you wanted to. All right. Let's get to the FUs of the week, because every week we get angsty. Why? I guess gamers have a lot of angst. I don't know.
Oh, this is bad. Here is justice. Here is punishment. This is fucked up.
Loki, why don't you start us off?
FU goes to Jack in the Box, who don't know how to make a fucking sandwich. He's nasty. That's it.
Irene, do you have some FUs of the week?
FU to flaky ass people who are just a bunch of dicks. And my cat.
Jonas?
F you to Best Buy for forgetting my pre-order for Smash Brothers.
You're not the only one they screwed over, by the way. I'm hearing a lot of that on Facebook. The Best Buy really fucked it up with those pre-orders, just so you know.
So that's a big FU right there. Another FU goes to the people playing Pokemon. Some of the people in Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha are saying, "Oh my God, Salamence is broken." God, for fuck's sake, play the game long enough before saying something is broken. The same, and of course, another big FU to some of the members of Project M. Yes, I'm calling your asses out. If you don't like Super Smash Bros. 4, stick to your Smash Bros. Melee or your Project, or the worst part, Project M. I'm tired of hearing your goddamn complaints about, oh, put Project M in the game room when we have Smash 4. Enough said. Or you can all suck my balls. But seriously though,
that option.
stop complaining and adapt to the new games and stuff. If you guys want to play the old games, go for it. Don't go around dictating other people what they should and shouldn't play.
Or you can suck his balls.
All right. Going to my FU of the week. I did not look at this. ActDeft found some website that will actually analyze your Steam library for you. And apparently, I have 238 games, 144 of which I have not played. That is 61%.
Wow.
Did I call? That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I'm impressed.
All right.
Shocked more than anything.
Fear my meat laugh skills
Well,
and my terrible English skills.
I don't want to fear your meat, Rob. That's
Fear my meat laugh skills.
Well, there you go. Look at that. I was quite conservative in my guess. It says I have not played 89% of my library, not 97%.
You know what? Just F you to that whole bit.
Well, I guess I'll just have to buy more games so that number gets up to 97%.
I know. Now I'm going to go in tonight and just launch each one of those games just to spite you people.
We have to install them first.
Then I'll give you some meat to fear. All right, let's do a couple more news stories, and then we're going to open up the Skype line at 1-877-GAME-OLR, or our username on Skype, orangeloungeradio. All one word. Loki. Congratulations. We got to move on over to the Skype line.
Okay. So Assassin's Creed Unity is getting a third patch, which will hopefully fix the whole face-off glitches. So, yes, apparently they've still got their, I want to say it's like a weekly blog or daily blog. I don't know, some sort of blog that they have where they're keeping track of everything. The third update will be larger in scope, and it says that they're going to patch bugs like Arno getting stuck in certain areas of the map or glitching in and getting in and out of cover problems. So yeah. So apparently the patch will dramatically improve the experience. So more faces off? I don't know. We'll see.
All right, they'll be patching in fun in
But
the next patch.
But of course, I like this
I'm
little
kidding, I'm
like
kidding.
This under promise over deliver type of phrasing here. But it is noted though that this patch won't solve every problem. Some of them.
All right. Well, you know, folks have been asking, when will Final Fantasy VII be remade for the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4? When is that going to happen, people? And the answer is, it's happened. That's right. They have remade Final Fantasy VII. Oh, wait, there's a twist, though. It was remade in Little Big Planet.
Whoa, Rob, you had me going there for a minute.
Was your heart palpitating
Yes.
a little bit there?
Absolutely.
I knew
All
it.
right.
I knew it.
All
Was gonna
right.
happen.
Fear the meat of this game. Final Fantasy VII remade in Little Big Planet 2. Apparently, it's on YouTube. You can watch 107 videos on YouTube, the entire story in Final Fantasy VII. Apparently, this took this guy like years to build. It was in Little Big Planet 2's engine, and there's a whole website being created for this. It's Final Fantasy VII, that's 7, Final Fantasy VII littleBigPlanet2.weebly.com. And that's where you can follow more updates on this, and you can watch it on YouTube. It's something else. I want to know, can I download and play it? Because apparently the Little Big Planet 2 levels are supposed to be playable in 3, so I could play my Final Fantasy VII Remake.
You
on
can,
PlayStation
and I've
4.
watched video of it. And it's derpy as fuck, but okay.
Okay, but still, come on. It's quite the accomplishment.
It's quite
Come
the
on.
accomplishment, but it's quite the derpy fucking accomplishment.
Here's the thing, though. Nothing will ever beat that level I played in the original Little Big Planet. That was the Parker Posey level.
I remember that.
And all it
So
was
awesome.
it was like a fucking creepy ass like stalker thing, but it was like, and you would unlock pictures of Parker Posey as you played the levels, and it was like a tribute to Parker Posey level. It was like a long, lengthy level. That was my favorite Little Big Planet level I ever played, was the Parker Posey tribute. So if that's still in the game, you should check that out. All right. Anyhow, there it is. All the news we have on deck for tonight. So we're going to open up the Skype line over at 1-877-GAME-OLR, or our username on Skype, Orange Lounge Radio, if you want to give us a call and talk about anything we have or haven't talked about tonight. While we wait for some calls to come in, I'll ask Loki if he has any last-minute stories, and I'm going to fire up Twitter here.
I do, and I can't believe I forgot to put this in the show roll, but
Oh, my gosh.
it's a free update for one of the best games that came out. Was it last year? Was it even this year? I don't remember. If it was this year, this should be fucking Game of the Year. Goat Simulator.
Oh, my God. Yeah, how did you miss this?
I don't know. But now Goat Simulator is not just Goat Simulator.
It's
but with
Goat
this free-
Say Simulator.
It's Goat MMO Simulator. The free expansion. And it's fucking ridiculous.
I can't wait. Is it out now?
It's out now. In
Oh,
fact,
I gotta
think
try
that
it.
yeah,
I'm so excited.
it came out on Thursday. So yes, update your fucking Goat Simulator, and they have 5 different classes you can play as: Warrior, Rogue, Microwave.
Now, that's one of the Steam games I have played. Just so you know. All right, look, the phone is ringing. We got to get to the calls. Hi, you're on Orange Lounge Radio. Who's this?
It's the one and only person with the fastest internet out of everyone in the chat room. It is Ronma.
Hey, Rama, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I just finished cooking an amazing dinner.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said I'm doing good, and I just cooked an amazing
You
dinner.
cooked an amazing dinner. You probably could have made a better sandwich than the one Loki got.
Well, I'll tell you what, next time I come out there, as long as you have a crock pot, I'll put together a mean little dinner for all of y'all.
Oh, you better bet we have a crock pot. We're a couple of guys living here in this house. We love crock pots.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
It's great for dinner and booze. What's on your mind, my friend?
A couple of things. Number one, you were talking about your Steam library and how many games you have and how many games you've yet to play. And I'm like, right now I'm staring at my PS2, PS3, Xbox 360 collection, and I'm just like, out of all these games, I can probably count on both hands how many games I have sat here and played. It's gotten to the point where I'm just buying them just to say that I have it, because I know if I don't buy it now, I will not be able to get my hands on it later.
So you buy games just in fear that they're going to disappear off the shelf too quick.
Kind of, sort of like Project Diva. I kind of had to sell my soul to the devil and go to the ShameStop to pick up the copy because it was only available there.
Honestly, that's fair. I understand that sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm, pretty much.
Sounds like Xenoblade.
Ugh, let's not go there. That pissed me off.
Oh, you think that's something? I was looking at ShameStop's Black Friday sale. They put Metroid Prime Trilogy up there for $50.
Oh, gee, what a steal.
It's going to be more like how many people are going to be going from store to store to store to store to find it.
Ugh. I do want to get my hands on that, though, at some point. I mean, it's just, I refuse to pay all that money for it.
Well, I mean, $50 is not bad. I mean, I will go looking for you, but to be perfectly honest, their Black Friday sales are kind of shitty this year.
Yeah, I know. I understand. What else? You said there were a few things.
Yeah, another thing is, if you don't remember, but I'm also staffing a convention coming up in about 2 weeks called DerpyCon.
Jamie's been talking about that on the show. So, yeah, I thought for some reason that was like this weekend. So it's a couple weeks out?
Yeah, this weekend was like the final meeting for everybody to get together and have the bag party.
Got it. So give us the details on the con, because I don't know much about it besides that it's called DerpyCon.
Well, DerpyCon is a multi-genre con, so it's anime, fantasy, sci-fi, all of it. So it's going to be panels about various things, and on behalf of VOG Network, Anime Jam Session will be there doing a live podcast, and I will also be hosting the karaoke contest.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Where is it? In New York City?
Actually, no. It's in the Hyatt at Morristown, New Jersey. It's basically 3 blocks from the train station. There are plenty of food places around, and there's a movie theater built in, like not built inside the hotel, but next to the hotel is a convention center. And if you go around the corner within there, there's a movie theater.
Is that why you're calling it DerpyCon? Because it's in New Jersey?
You would think.
Come on, that was too easy. Come on, too easy. Oh, I
We all
pissed.
know New Jersey is.
I love New
York's,
Jersey for the record.
Retarded stepbrother. We all know that, But
I love New Jersey for the record. I have great memories with Rama in New Jersey.
one good thing about Jersey, gas. It's like $2.53 a gallon.
And you can't pump it yourself.
Yeah, because somebody tried it once, burnt down a gas station.
That's all right. Oregon's the same way. Anyway.
But what's cool is that the way we're doing our game room, we're going old school.
Oh, really?
Yes, we're looking at Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, Dreamcast,
Nice.
maybe even Xbox, PS1, PS2. We're just keeping it old school.
What, you didn't invite the teabaggers to get out the U-Haul and drive out to Jersey with all their gear? Come on, you can do it.
This is the
You
first time I've
do
heard.
realize if the teabaggers came out here, there is Quantum Game. There are other gaming groups that are like that. We'll run them out of the area.
Oh. Is this turning into West Side Story?
Oh god! Actually, come to big.
Thing.
When you're a teabag, you're a teabag. All right, anyway.
Actually, I might know some people there. I'm not sure. Like, what groups are actually? Curious. Which groups are actually going to be at the gaming section?
Actually, we're doing our own. We're doing with some consoles. We're just going to purchase older consoles, or a couple of staffers going to bring in their older consoles for play.
So pretty much in-house, pretty much.
Yeah, like the big conventions like Anime Next, Otakon, they'll have their own consoles. Conventions like Zenkai, AUSA, they'll get a third party, and they'll usually be affiliated with a gaming con such as Too Many Games, such as an example of one of the bigger, smaller local gaming cons in the area.
Well, you said Otakon, correct? You said Otakon has their own in-house funding for game room. I thought that was being funded by or at least covered by what's that group? Oh, SavePoint.
SavePoint?
That's what I
Not
thought.
to my knowledge. If it's changed, it might have been recently because I have not gone to Otakon in like about a year or so. So if that's changed, I have no idea. But when you go in there, you'll see like the boxes with the consoles, and it'll say property of Otacorp.
Oh. Well, be sure to share your plans with Jonas. He can tell you everything you're doing wrong. I'm kidding.
You know what? He can do that. I'll send him directly to the Department of Video Games, and if you like dealing with The Rock, that's all you. Me, I just sit there, I deal with the karaoke, and then when the contest is over, I break out the flask, turn on open mic, and like go, dear Lord. That's it.
I wish I'd had some warning. I would have loved to come out to DerpyCon, and if you said karaoke, I'm sure I could have gotten Irene out there too.
Well, we are doing a midnight thing for midnight karaoke, so yeah,
Nice. Well,
Plus, 2 of our staffers are Rocky Horror.
Oh, it's all. I will plan now for DerpyCon 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You don't say it too loudly because Jamie will jump right into your luggage for that one. Because she is staff. She is staff, so.
Yeah, I know. She's been talking about some of the design work she's been doing for it. So, okay, so that'll be fun. Take a lot of pictures since I can't be there. I guess now is as good of a time to any to announce, since we're speaking about cons and East Coast. I am coming to Boston.
Which convention?
I'm coming to PAX East.
You suck, Rob! You suck! You suck! You suck!
So
Are you trolling me right now, bro? Seriously.
I'm not trolling you. I'm seriously coming out to PAX East.
Oh,
Damn.
So yeah, I will be out there. What is it? Like the plane tickets are bought. I have the receipts.
how the hell did you get a 3-day pass? They were gone in 10 minutes.
I didn't, but we have a way anyway. So that's all.
Christ.
So yeah, I will see you guys. Well, I guess you're not going to come to PAX East then.
Oh, did you? Oh, you probably weren't there. Here's the thing. I subscribe to all of their social media, so I know exactly when the tickets were going on sale,
Right.
when the hotels were going up.
Right.
they waited 20 minutes after they opened it up and made the announcements on social media that tickets were available and the hotel were available.
Oh,
By
my
the time
gosh.
I jumped on it, 3-day badges were gone.
Oh my God.
By the end of the day at 6 p.m. when I was leaving work, the entire convention was sold out. And I'm like, I refuse to drop $800 on a scalper for this, and I refuse to. I'm not doing it.
That's what you
I'm
need.
not stressing myself over this. Forget it.
That's what you need to do is wait for that second wave that they'll put up from the scalper tickets they recover.
They won't.
They won't. They will.
No, they didn't do it for New York Comic Con. Let's not get into that. But let's just say they said they were doing it for New York Comic Con, and I was following a few of the scalpers. Let's just say the eBay auctions were still up there.
So frustrating. Scalpers suck. Awful.
But what I will do, maybe if Mako-chan is up to it, maybe we will day trip up there and we can hang out or something
There
like
you
that.
go.
We'll figure something out.
There you go. It'll be a party. All right, I gotta let you go so we can get more calls. But
Hey, no
wow, the
problem,
chat
bro.
room. I just dropped a bombshell in the chat room apparently because I thought I
Yeah,
said something
you
on
did.
Twitter. I posted on Twitter. I'm like, by the way, I'm coming to Boston March something to something. So anyway.
I missed that tweet.
All right. Well, maybe Twitter's hiding things now too with Facebook. All right. Take care, buddy.
All right, you take care, bro.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Time difference doesn't help either, because if I post something at midnight, then it's like 3 a.m. for the East Coast, so maybe that's how they missed it. I don't know. Anyhow, 1-877-GAME-OLR or a username on Skype, Orange Lounge Radio, if you'd like to give us a call. Let's get to some more calls. Hi, you're on Orange Lounge Radio. Who's this?
Hello, Paul here.
Hey, pal. What's up?
Kind of tired doing packing and stuff like that, but everything okay?
You going on a trip?
No, we're probably moving, so
Moving?
try to do slowly, not waiting until last minute,
Oh,
which
my-
I probably will. But
Moving is like punishment for shoplifting in some countries, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I think in some countries it's illegal or something. It's just terrible.
What's up, buddy?
I was calling just for my opinion regarding the amiibo. I bought some and it worked different than I expected, but not necessarily a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was convinced that it was going to be something like kind of more casual, but strangely enough, I feel like it worked more for a hardcore gamer than for a casual gamer, which I found it really strange if you compare it with the Skylander or Disney Infinity.
How so? What made you decide that it was more of a hardcore thing?
Because I don't see a kid, for example, buying one and saying, "Oh, I really want a figure that will learn to fight the same way I fight." I just don't see a kid saying, "Oh, that's a great idea." But if you're really, really good in Smash, which I'm not, but if you're really, really good and you train it, they really end up fighting the way you do. Like, for example, I jump a lot and I always forget to block because I just forget. Then they figure that out after it reaches a high level, like 40 or 50, it really plays the way I play. Like, I forget to cover all the time and it jump all the time. And it was kind of annoying. It was hard to play, like fighting against a ghost of myself or something.
I need to know if they're going to put out an amiibo for the master hand, because that's the only time I remember to block is on that stupid hand. God, that
I never
fucker.
remember to block, and I never remember to grab. And when someone does it online, I'm like, what is? Oh yeah, it's growing. I never did it. But I think it's I like it, but I think it has some kind of a strange identity crisis, because that kind of toys is probably really appealing for kids. But the usefulness in the Smash, it feels like it's way more if you're really into the Smash and you want to like train yourself or something like that, because it's really an AI that adapts to your gameplay, which I don't see that is really kids friendly. So I like it, but it's just strange. It's definitely not the way I expected. But
Which amiibos did you pick up?
I got like the really classic ones, like Mario, Donkey Kong. I got the ones that I was worried that maybe in a year from now, 2 years from now, when Nintendo decides to do Amiibo World or something for the Wii U, and then suddenly it will be, oh, remember those amigos that you didn't buy? And, well, now you can use it in this game, but nobody can find that figurine.
Well, I hear some of those figures are already going up in price and getting harder to find because yay scalpers, but apparently Marth is one of the harder to find figures that just came out, and some people are seeing it on eBay already for $30. So it's like, and we all knew this stupid shit would happen. So I'm whatever.
Yeah, I wish sometimes they put some limit to people. I'm not never gonna do that, but I know it was ridiculous. Like 24 hours later, just checking eBay, it was just the reselling was insane. Like I'm sure just people go around Walmart just buying all of them or something.
Yeah, it's a whole. There's probably CD websites they gather intel on what's going to be popular and how to get them. But anyway, all right.
Yeah, they sell pre-sales. Just absurd.
All right, well, Pal, I'm going to let you go so we can get more calls, but I'm glad to hear you having a good time with Amiibos.
Thank you. And also, I follow your other program I discovered the other day, and even though I don't play WoW, I don't play Final Fantasy 14, I really enjoy it too. So.
Well, thank you. Grandpa and Next Fur will appreciate the plug.
All right.
All right, take care, my friend. All right, bye. Oh, it's good to hear from Pal. And look at this, the Skype line lighting up. Oh, my gosh, this call after call. We'll try to get at least one more in. Hi, you're on Orange Lounge Radio. Who's this?
Hey, what's up? This is Kai Judo.
Hey, Kai Judo. What's on your mind, buddy?
I'm going to tell you in 1 second. I just wanted to tell that last caller what he could do is, if he's not really that good at Smash, have his amiibo fight with him instead of against him, and it'll pick up from like what the computer's doing, and it'll get a lot better than what he can teach it. And also, amiibo versus amiibo is like 10 times better than you fighting your amiibo.
So in other words, you could just put the amiibo in there with a bunch of CPU characters at level 9, and why don't you just learn from the best?
Yeah,
wow. Exactly.
Even though those level 9s aren't really that great, it's like they tell you to just fight amiibo versus amiibo.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think it's really cool. I think I kind of disagree. I think kids will enjoy it. It's kind of like it's like a kid has a little buddy to take along with him and play if he doesn't have if his friends don't have the game, or it's late at night and he can't have friends over. Just pop that little sucker in there and you have a little sparring partner instead of fighting the computer.
I think kids will be in it probably more for just the figures themselves, but I think Pow had a decent point that like kids may not be thinking on that secondary level where adults are like, oh, I gotta get this because it's gonna unlock here and I'll be able to use it here and da-da-da. But I don't know. Then again,
I doubt that. Like
when I was 9 years old, I subscribed to Nintendo Power.
I could remember being a kid, and when I was a kid, there was never a time where I wanted action figure based off a video game. Like a video game already feels like a toy already.
Yeah.
So I don't really see kids using their imagination, like getting excited over a freaking Mario figure or Princess Peach figure. Like they see them for what they are. They'll be looking for some other cool toy that's out there. I don't think they're necessarily going to use these things as toys. I know I wouldn't.
I got excited for the Princess Peach.
Yeah, that's
figure.
what I don't understand. It's like I wish that they would just have like them actually be action figures. Like have it be an action figure and have the base attached to it. And so what if it comes off the base? At least if you have the base, then you can play the game.
I still think these things are going to do better than people. I don't think they're going to like top Skylanders, but I think they're going to do better than people are expecting. And this is going to be Nintendo's way of saying, see, we didn't have to do a mobile phone game. We can do this. So
yeah, I have the Star Fox Amigo, and like just like Wookie said, it's like I'm tempted to bend his arm. Like it looks like his arm can bend down. Like he looks like a posable action figure, but you can't. But it's a really cool looking whatever the hell you want to call it. But what I'm here to call about was, you were talking about Ghostbusters earlier.
Yeah. And
I have a game recommendation for you. You need to get Ghost Control Inc. on Steam. It's almost it's not exactly the Ghostbusters from the that you were talking about, but it's kind of like a combination of Ghostbusters and what's the other thing? XCOM. And basically, it's turn-based. You travel around the city. Well, actually, you're traveling around London, and you're busting ghosts. It's a lot of fun. The graphics suck, so if you're really into graphics, you're probably not going to like it. But if you don't mind like the 8-bit looking graphics, because I mean, it's real. It looks like it's something out of Nintendo.
I just Googled it to get a little more information on it while you're talking about it, and it looks like this is something that they got on Kickstarter, and one of these links goes to Kickstarter. The graphics look like Game Dev Tycoon or something like that.
Yeah. It's basically one of those. I forgot what they call them. They're like a financial simulator or a business simulator. Mm-hmm. So you have to balance your money. You upgrade your equipment. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot like I said. It's a lot like XCOM, but it has that Ghostbusters theme to it, and it's really silly. Like the game doesn't take itself serious. Like there's times where you pick up your cell phone because you get calls while you're like driving around, and it's just mumbles. It's just got like it's just like
They talk like Sims.
yeah. It's completely bonkers, and it's a never-ending game. I love my sandbox and open world never-ending game. So as once you beat it, you can still continue to play it for as long as you want. So that's my favorite part about it.
There you go. There's something I'll have to keep an eye out for on the Steam sale. So
Yep. All right, man. Gonna let another call get through. Great show.
Thanks so much, Kaijudo. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, bye. Good call. Well, I am going to shut down the Skype line. I'm very sorry to those of you that didn't get through, but we are a little bit past 9 o'clock here, which is supposed to be when the show ends. But I want to thank you guys for downloading the show, tuning in, and listening tonight. Really appreciate it. Don't forget that Jackbox competition. Don't forget, you can send us regular emails, too, or welcome to participate at orangeloungeradio.com is the place to send those emails. Loki, checking in one more time for any last-minute stories?
No, but I was going to talk a little bit more about Goat Simulator.
Please.
MMO or Goat MMO Simulator. So apparently there's a spot in the game where there's a hole in the wall. You jump into the wall, you find out it's a concrete room full of servers. And it being Goat Simulator, you can smash those servers. And eventually, as you smash the servers, more and more stuff breaks. Eventually, the textures stop drawing in. Eventually, the wireframes break. And eventually, you get logged out. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And that's all free once you buy the game.
I think I'm going to need to try to get these guys on the show for Loki, because I think he's a bit of a fan.
They're not. They're in Europe.
Oh.
So.
Well, we had the Geometry Wars guys years and years and years ago. They were in Europe. You never know. All right. Anyhow, let's go around and wrap up and get final thoughts. Jonas, thank you for being here, and best of luck with everything with Teabagger on through the holidays. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
And all that. What con's next for you guys? SAC Anime in January?
Right now, just SAC Anime right now.
Gotcha. All right. People can follow you guys on Facebook, though?
Yeah, we got a couple of new followers ever since the championships, as well as Smash Brothers and Pokemon.
Nice.
Coming up, because I guess people want to know when the tournament starts and if there's going to be 8-player Smash in the actual game room, which most likely has to be yes, because there's going to be so many people playing Smash.
Right.
So get 8 people through, and next 8 people come up next.
All right. Well, let me know if you do the Robo Amiibo competition there, and I'll probably buy into that. My trained at home Amiibo versus Amiibo, Mecha Amiibo. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually can bring up a question to the people, see if the interest is good enough.
Yeah,
we could probably post enough maybe for SACCON like next year, since we might be doing SACCON, but that's still in the works.
All right. Well, good luck to you. I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Take care, my friend. Irene, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Multitap Podcast, one more time. Give that a plug.
Oh, okay. You can find it at ffop.net and just look for Multitap Podcast on there.
Best of luck with everything you're doing there on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Let's go around and get everybody's final thoughts. Jonas, your final thought tonight.
Okay. Black Friday, I haven't really seen much other than game-wise. I've already got the games I need, but I think this Black Friday I'm probably gonna buy a new computer for do actual streaming to support more gaming stuff.
Good times.
Of course, I'll stop by here once in a while, even if I'm all busy this next couple of weeks.
Yeah, don't forget us little people when you break through as a huge Twitch streamer with all these new toys you have. Don't forget us as little peasants in the village down here at OLR.
We'll give you shout-outs, of course.
Oh, I appreciate it. No, I do. Got to help each other out. All right, good luck with all that, Jonas.
Of course.
And Irene, your final thought.
Don't forget to fear Rob's meat.
Super Meat Boy.
That's it.
Oh, that's it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Let's see. Loki, your final thought tonight.
I need to work more on my game.
Yes, you do. We didn't get an update this week. That means you didn't work on it.
Not necessarily. I worked on just concept stuff because I'm trying to figure out how to redo the engine again, just to make it faster with doing geometry checking and stuff like that, so that I can remove extra geometry, because I got to the point where I run out of space really fast in each 3D object, so I have to make a chunk system and try to find a way to check it. Because before, once I get so many objects on the screen, it would lock up for a few seconds when you add a new one. So I can't have that. That doesn't work. So I had to figure out how Minecraft does it, or the other voxel games do it, because that's, unfortunately, I didn't want to have to do it that way, but that's the way I got to do it.
All right. And as always, I want to thank you guys for checking out our show and supporting independent podcasting. If you like what you heard here at Orange Lounge Radio, please tell a friend or 5 about the show. Help spread the word, because we don't have a major website backing us up. It's just us fending for ourselves here, and all we have are you guys to help us out and spread the word. So we appreciate each and every recommendation, be it word of mouth or leaving us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher Radio or any place that you may have found this podcast. Somebody else might find it there too. And just on a personal note, it is Thanksgiving week here in America. So those of you guys that celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have a really wonderful Thanksgiving, whatever it is you decide to do. Those of you overseas, in the spirit of the holiday, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving as well. And I'm really thankful for, all you guys that take the time out to spend 3 hours of your week with us, be it live on Sunday night or during the week, helping you get through the workday. Just knowing that people actually listen to this stuff that we've produced for the past 12 years and kind of follow along with it and really embrace it and participate with it. It really is so much motivation to keep doing it more and more. So I am thankful for you guys for listening and participating and being a part of the show. And I mean it. So have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time here on Orange Lounge Radio. Dark Soccer will be back next week, and we'll talk about all the crazy games we've been playing, because there's even more stuff out this week between Geometry Wars, and Dark Soccer's got something to say about Dragon Age Inquisition. So we'll cover all that in the same time and same place in 7 days. See you then.
You've been listening to Orange Lounge Radio. Orange Lounge Radio is a production of OLR Studios. To join us for a live show, tune into VogNetwork.com Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. The views and opinions expressed in this program do not necessarily reflect those of the staff of Orange Lounge Radio or VOG Network, but they were all still true. See you next week.